The college football experience week 5 preview and picks episode on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Game Time. Snag the tickets without the stress. Use the promo code CFBX on your first purchase to save $20. Download the Game Time app. Use that promo code CFBX for $20 off. We're also brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Play the underdog pick'em in college or NFL and win up to 20 times the amount of money you can enter in one game. Plus, every Sunday they're giving away $100,000. Use the promo code SGPN at Underdog Fantasy for 100% deposit bonus up to $500. We're also brought to you by VSiN. Sign up now, save 40% off with their football season special when you use the promo code SGP. VSiN.com/subscribe. Promo code SGP. And finally, we're brought to you by Hall of Fame Bets, the sports betting research platform for parlays, player props, and game lines. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app or visit HOFBets.com. Use that promo code SGPN to get 50% off your first month and start making smarter bets today, people.
This is Randy Cross. You're listening to SGPN. Let it ride.
Yes, yes, yes. Woo! Welcome to the college football experience. Week 5 preview and picks episode. Woo! Shout out to Weehawk into the chat. I switched it up, going a little bourbon this time around. No moonshine, but look, you're probably wondering just who the hell you're listening to, and maybe you caught. Shout out to Mo in the chat. Maybe you caught the lead up to this where I had former Eddie Robinson head coach or former Eddie Robinson FCS head coach of the year, Scott Wackenheim on the show. That was fantastic talking to him. Talking to him about everything. And by the way, he says he at VMI where he made the FCS playoffs, almost knocked off JMU,
almost
won the SoCon. He said, we do have a guy that counts. There's a guy on the coaching staff that his job is to count all 11 players on the field every single time. So
Marcus Freeman.
Yeah.
Take notes.
If VMI could afford it, can't Notre Dame?
That's right. That's right.
Look, but he also said, hey man, he's young into coaching. We've all made mistakes. It happens fast. Look, folks, if you're wondering who the hell you're listening to, my name is Colby Swinging Database Dan, AKA Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
He was raised in the land down under, where a man thinks on his feet, speaks with his fists, and lives by his wits.
When Dundee happened, he was a superstar.
And you're nothing but a chameleon, lemon-headed, coward, terrorist pussy. And I'm after you, buddy. You're going to pay for it. Good night.
Sir, please stop being a maniac. Can't do it. Been a maniac since I was born. Whew.
Yeah, but
Feeling good about life, man. Feeling good. A lot of big time matchups. Great weekday college football this week, if I may say so.
Still no Tuesday or Wednesday games, but we'll take it.
Yeah, they're dropping the ball a little bit, but I mean Thursday and Friday's pretty loaded. I am joined by my co-host. He's wearing that hat proudly. Give it up for former JMU Duke defensive back, the burrito eating, sideline kiss stealing, wheeling and dealing, Patty C in the place to be.
hi-oh. Well,
I mean, the Dukes did something that I'm pretty sure no one in a long time has done in FBS college football and win 3 straight road games. All right.
Whoa.
Now, Arkansas lost at LSU last week because they do play on the road for a month. Special thank you to Greg Sankey
we also accomplished something that hasn't been done since Washington State a few years back against UCLA, and that's let a 24-point lead get erased in a matter of minutes. But we hung on and won.
Got the dub. We are joined by third man in the booth. The DFS god himself. We will drop a DFS episode tomorrow, and we welcome you to come play DFS with us. Give it up for the rooftop IPA drinking, homebrew making, tobacco road living, the free lot giving, former Herndon Basketball League MVP. Give it up for NC Nick in the place to be.
There we go. What's going on?
I mean, we got back to from Wyoming, safe and sound. Checked out Northern Colorado's football facility, Nottingham,
nice campus.
Nottingham Forest, I like to call it.
Nice campus, nice town of Greeley, Colorado.
You see Little John up there?
Yeah, Little John.
Little Robin Hood.
Yeah, I mean, look, that both stadiums, but Laramie, unbelievable.
Fun place to watch a game.
Yeah, I'd say.
You guys made a stop there in Brokeback though, too, right?
Yeah,
you know,
dabbled in the.
Was that Wyoming or was that Idaho?
I think that's Wyoming.
I never saw the movie.
Oh, that's good.
So I got to count on you to.
Yeah, I watched it.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
It was tough. I was
not surprised. Not surprised.
Well, certain scenes, I dialed in on. Look, I was culturing myself. Maybe you guys should try to do that, you heathens.
Yeah, it's true. Look, I watched like 7 minutes of When Harry Met Sally once. All right, fell asleep. But I mean, hey, got out there. Now I did watch RoboCop 3 a couple times. All right,
Yeah.
go check out that one.
Let me say this. When I watched that movie, it was right after college. I had a job that I was lost in the shuffle. It was like
it was like
what is that? Office Space. Where kind of no one knows you're there, but
it helped with your identity.
Well, I just
what exactly did you do, Patty C?
What are you getting at here? Where are you taking
I watched.
this?
Well, this is almost a bigger indictment on me. I watched every game of the World Cup. Right.
Oh,
that's pretty sus.
That was the appetizer.
Yeah, that was the appetizer. I finished it off with Brokeback Mountain. Anyway, I had hours and hours and hours to kill. It was on.
I don't know where the hell you're taking this right now, but
look, idle hands are the workshop of the devil. That's all I got to say.
I don't know what you do with those idle hands.
Yeah.
So they were busy.
So intrigued by where this is going right now. What are you gonna take? Where are you gonna take me next here? All right.
I'm done for 5 minutes.
I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about.
Mute me.
We just jumped right into this week.
Wait. I feel
Guys,
like
this isn't side B yet.
I feel like I have a quote for this for what Patty C is talking about. And I feel like it is right. Where the hell are you?
I'm nervous, although I'm sure it can't be good.
I can't find shit anywhere.
Well,
I don't know. I don't know where
while
the
he
hell
looks,
it is.
we'll talk about a close by state.
Here we go. I got it.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Fair enough.
I feel like, because I don't know where that was going, but look, let's get back on the
in the same neck of the woods. Another team had a Brokeback experience, and that was the Colorado Buffs.
That was foreseeable.
They got bent over, that's for sure.
Yeah, they get bent.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit. Look, it's funny. You go listen to that interview with me and Scott Wackenheim because we were talking about. I don't have a problem with what Dan Lanning said to his team. Now, like, okay, you're saying the clicks. I find it hilarious because Oregon's like the most clickbait type of team in all of college football. But I don't really have a problem. Do you guys, at the end of the day, have a problem with that?
Nope. No, he said it best. I have to motivate my team in whatever way I can. That's a pretty not offensive way to motivate your team.
Yeah, I think it's all ridiculous. Now, do you have a problem with only playing 10 guys back to back plays?
I do have a problem with that.
That's the worst problem. That's for sure.
The worst was that it was a D lineman too. It's like, how do you miss that player? It's like half your D line is missing there
for 2 straight plays. Pretty tough there. There was also Trying to think what other news. Connor Wegman, he's out for the season. It's going to be Max Lawn Chair Johnson taking over.
They got a capable backup.
Yeah, he's actually one of the best backup quarterbacks, I would say. I
agree.
In college football. Yeah, there's the Jake Dickert-Lee Corso thing, which once again I think Corso's catching a stray. He hasn't formed a complete sentence in fucking 10 years. And
apparently, Dickert was wrong on that too.
No, ESPN's the brains behind that shit.
Well, they were, but apparently, I'm not 100% sure because I didn't see what Corso said. I didn't see the clip, but apparently he said this is the No One Cares Bowl, not the No One Watches Bowl. Right? The No One Watches Bowl.
Yeah.
The No One Cares Bowl is because or no one, not no home. What I forget whatever he said was like they don't have a home, which is true. They don't have a home. That's kind of the context that he said it in.
Well, they have a home right now, and it's the best conference in college football.
Ooh, woo! And we got a barn burner on Friday night. Let's get to it. But before we get to this week's action, I want to tell you that the college football experience is brought to you by Game Time. Yes, buying tickets to your favorite event shouldn't be stressful. All right. Game Time's the fast and easy way to buy tickets for all sports, music, comedy, and theater that is near you. With killer deals on last minute tickets and their best price guarantee, you can stop stressing over the tickets and start getting hyped for the fun that you'll be having at that very event. And forget planning months in advance. You do that, you're still going to fuck it up. You're still going to have 10 guys on the field. All right. Game Time has deals on tickets right up to the day of the event. So get exclusive flash deals on tickets for football, basketball, baseball, concerts, comedy, theater, all that good stuff and more. And look, they have the Game Time guarantee, which means you'll always get the best price. In fact, if you find tickets in the same section or row for less, Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use that promo code CFBX for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Once again, create that account CFBX for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. We're also brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Yes, Underdog is a way to play alongside your favorite football team all season long. You can win up to 20 times your money in a single game by going 5 for 5. And from now until October 4th, Underdog is matching 100% of the first deposits up to $500. And they're giving away $100,000 on Sundays every Sunday. What the hell? I'm pretty sure you could use $100,000. They also have a total of $2 million in prizes for all season long tournaments. Like I said, $100K in prize every single Sunday. And they're also giving out $10K to 10 different random people each week. There's new sweepstakes every single week of the NFL season. So look, what are you doing, folks? Get on over there. Watch along, make your picks, and maybe make a little extra cash on Underdog's mobile app or website, UnderdogFantasy.com. When you sign up with the promo code SGPN, Underdog will double your first deposit up to $500. That's Underdog Fantasy. Promo code SGPN. All right, we are back on the college football experience, week 5 preview and picks edition. And man, I can tell you this. One thing that I love about the CUSA this year, they got some low key fun rivalries that on a Saturday would be lost in the luster. Cluster.
Lost in the clusterfuck.
Cluster, not luster. I can't fucking talk.
I think something loses its luster.
Yeah, they would lose their luster if played on a Saturday amidst all the other big games.
So it is luster, not cluster.
Yeah.
Kind of. It loses its luster. It's not lost in the luster.
Lost in the luster.
Well, it kind of that makes sense a little bit. Lost in the luster.
I'm drinking whiskey. We're lost in the luster.
There's a lot of luster, and they're lost in it.
Yeah,
all right,
that's what I'm saying.
I like it.
All right,
I
now we're
like
lost in the luster somewhere. Somewhere in the lost of the luster is the fucking 100 miles of hate, which is Middle Tennessee at Western Kentucky. Absolutely underrated rivalry. They've been playing this since 1914, and we get this gem on Thursday night. And look, when you have this on Thursday night, when you have the 100 miles of hate, everyone gets to watch. And they've been playing this since 1914, and Western Kentucky only has a 1-game lead. This is a great fucking rivalry.
This is a great rivalry.
Great. And look, remember last year, Middle Tennessee was about to join the MAC, but they said, all right, Western Kentucky, it's a package deal. We're with you. All right. And Western Kentucky says, we're staying in the United States of the conference. All right. Wow. And that's that. They go hand in hand, man. They're 100 miles apart from greatest name for a rivalry, maybe since they tried to remove the shootout, is maybe the 100 Miles of Hate.
That is solid.
Yeah.
It's also overall 36-35-1 is the series in the Hilltoppers' favor.
There it is.
That's what I'm saying, man. It's just
why isn't this being played on Thanksgiving weekend?
That's true, but I'll take a weekday college football rivalry. If you're not gonna look, if they were just gonna sprinkle it this Saturday, it would have been not worth it. Give us no. I agree. Final game of the season probably should be, but anyway, this
some true hatred on a Thursday night in October.
Yeah,
or
fantastic.
I guess September.
Yeah, September. Whatever.
We'll take it.
Look, Western Kentucky's laid 6.5 points. If you're watching on YouTube, youtube.com/the college experience. NC Nick, the Blue Raiders are plus 195 on the money line. What are you doing here in old Bowling Green, Kentucky?
I love Western Kentucky on this. Anything under 7. This line's been fluctuating a lot. I think it opened right around here, then it dropped down to -4.5, -5. Now it's back up a little bit. I think Western Kentucky, they had a really tough road trip at Ohio State, at Troy. Now they get home. This is where they get right and secure their spot on top of the Conference USA. In this matchup, they've won 4 in a row. The last 2 games were blowouts, 35-17, 48-21. I think Western Kentucky wins by a touchdown easily. I want to start the night off with a lock, boys.
Okay. NC Nick saying go Tops. Go Tops. 100 Miles of Hate. I see at 6.5. It's a little tricky because I believe this opened up at 7.
That dropped down though, but then it came back up.
But my point is I think I took the 7 at 6.5. You got to think, I'm still going Stockstill. All right. Because I think he's an underrated coach. You saw what he did with Mizzou, almost knocked off the Tigers in Columbia. They're coming off of a tough loss to Colorado State in a game we were on. And, I think they show up for this. They cover the 6.5. The Hilltoppers win, but they cover the 6.5. Obviously, try to get this at 7 if you can. Patty C, what are you doing here in Bowling Green, Kentucky?
I'm with you. I think the road spot makes it a little tougher, but Middle Tennessee has, even though they're 1-3 and Troy is 2-2, shown me a little more. Keeping it close against Missouri on the road was tough. Did get throttled by Alabama, but again, Colorado State looks to be improved. Kept it close there. Meanwhile, Western Kentucky's win against USF, pretty impressive, but I don't know. I just think 6.5 is too much.
100 Miles of Hate.
Lock battle, anyone?
No, you're fucking insane.
Cowards.
You are insane.
Sorry, we're not ready with the machine guns over there.
Come on, man. Right out the gates.
Let's go now to Tulsa, Oklahoma. This series dates back to 1987. Paul Palmer was with the Temple Owls back then. And same with what's the guy's name that coach of the Buccaneers that won the Super Bowl just recently? I can't fucking remember his name. He was from Virginia Tech. Buccaneers coach won the Super Bowl. Jesus, we're fucking all fucking up.
This is NFL.
Bruce Arians. Bruce Arians.
Arians.
No, Bruce Arians.
Yeah,
Gruden.
That's as far as
Jesus.
That was gonna be my guess.
Fucking guys. We're off to a rough start on week 5, man. This is a rough fucking
college
start. Yeah. Temple heads to Tulsa. This is, like I said, it's first. It goes back to 87. This is the 8th all-time meeting. Tulsa leads the series by 1. At the same time, I could be talked into a lock at H.A. Chapman Stadium of the Temple Owls flying high into Tulsa, Oklahoma, and getting the dub. They're catching 3.5. Wrong team favorite. Temple is better than Tulsa.
I mean, Tulsa is really tough to judge because they played 2 of the top 2 teams from like an efficiency standpoint in the country, in Oklahoma and Washington. That's not exactly easy competition. They beat their other 2 opponents, Pine Bluff and Illinois, Northern Illinois. So nothing proven in the wins and really nothing proven in the losses.
Yeah. And meanwhile, what has Temple done to impress you? If anything, I think their offense, which I thought was going to be really good this year, not so much. They only put up 7 on Miami, 7 on Rutgers. I mean, that's kind of understandable. Throw out the Norfolk State game, and the only other game you have is a home win over Akron, 24-21. This is a tough road trip.
Akron, who just pushed Indiana to overtime?
I'm going to disagree. I don't like this game, but I think this is a tough trip from Philly to Tulsa.
That is a tough trip.
It's kind of like Stallone's trip from Rocky to Tulsa Kings.
That's true. He did do that. I like this. The Stallone Bowl.
The Stallone Bowl.
I like this one.
I'm gonna go Tulsa.
No, Temple all day. Take the 3.5. Sprinkle that money line.
The hook
Sprinkle
is a
that money
little
line.
bit of a little scary there, but I think I'm gonna roll Tulsa as well.
These guys think they're the Tulsa Kings. They're not. All right. Next up, I almost locked up Temple there, guys. I almost fucking locked up Temple.
Don't almost do it. Do it.
I mean, their losses combined.
Can't trust
Temple 4-0, Miami 4-0, Oklahoma 4-0.
Rutgers, damn good team.
They are a pretty decent team, and
All
Washington 4-0.
NC Nick won't admit it, but the Scarlet Knights and Northeast football is back. Later on Thursday night, this is one. Let's have some fun here. Jacksonville State and Rich Rodriguez traveling down to Huntsville, Texas. Elliott T. Bauer Stadium. All right, built fucking Ford tough. All right, look, Sam Houston State's 0-3, but have you looked at they held the Sam Houston defense? Very impressive. They held BYU to 14 points in Provo. They held Air Force to 13 points. Right. The only problem is they only scored 3 points in those two games. Then last week the wheels kind of came off, but this was at halftime. I feel like they were somewhat in this thing. I think it was like 21-7 or something. And I feel like this is the game they've been waiting for. They haven't won an FBS game yet. That is why I am locking up Sam Houston State plus 6.5 points.
It's a big spread
at Elliott T. Bauer Stadium. Do I need to remind you these teams played in 2021? And Sam Houston State won 42-7.
Of course, Eric Schmid's long gone.
I think they've probably got a similar talent level that they did in 2021 on this Sam.
What are you doing here in this game, buddy? You going with your boy?
Oh,
you laying 6.5 on the road?
I think it's too much on the road. I'll roll Sam Houston with you.
And see, Nick, what are you doing here in Huntsville?
I agree with you guys. I think this line stinks. One team is 0-3, one is 3-1, coming off of a 21-0 win, versus a decent Eastern Michigan squad that went bowling last year. So I think the 6.5. I think a lot of people are going to be on Jacksonville State. I do like the home dog Friday night. Give me Sam Houston to cover and potentially get their first win in a big upset.
Lock for
well, look,
I'm not locking this.
Oh,
they scored 10 points all year long.
They played friggin'. That's a tough schedule, man.
3.3 points per game. They might have the worst offense in the country.
Oh, some of that is who they played.
Those are good teams, but not great. Pretty good.
I mean, I don't know.
Tough schedule for Sam Houston out the gates, and then Liberty on deck.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Flaming Libs. All right, let's jump over to Friday, where the Louisville Cardinals are heading into Raleigh, North Carolina. They've been playing this one since 1951. Louisville leads the series by 4 games, and guess what? They have a winning record in Raleigh. That is why I'm laying the 3.5. Patty C still not a believer in my Cardinals, even though they've
starting to believe
the tar. They have NC Nick again. What was that? They had 45 at halftime against Boston College. 45 nothing at halftime.
Hard not to believe when you have a performance like that.
A week after BC should have beat Florida State. Come on.
That reeks of a letdown spot for BC. But still, that's a shellacking.
Yeah. 42 at halftime.
Yeah, whatever.
Oh yeah,
42, 45.
That's nothing, right?
Trying to give them an extra field goal.
I'm just saying they could have dropped 84. Jeff Brom, quality guy, called off the dogs at the shack, Now,
are we sleeping on
both teams undefeated in the ACC?
True. Are we sleeping on North Carolina State just because they had a close one against UVA?
No. If anything, that's why. I mean, they haven't looked good all year, really. Me and NC Nick
kept it pretty close against Notre Dame for a while.
Yeah, to me that was more about them losing than Notre Dame beating it. Like wide open passes, hitting the receiver right in the fucking hands. Then getting intercepted off the deflection. But I'm on Louisville minus 3.5. I think they're trying to bait you to take the 3.5.
Probably.
NC Nick, you're in Raleigh, North Carolina. What are you doing here?
Well, I really wanted to go home dog on a Friday night in Raleigh, like RG in the chat is saying. And that was my first reaction was to go NC State. But after thinking about it, man, I can't. That offense has not looked right. The defense has looked decent, But I think Louisville's coming on, and I got to side with Colby here and go Louisville. Maybe I'll be pleasantly surprised, and maybe we'll see an upset, but I can't back the Wolfpack right now.
And I don't even know if we can say look ahead, because Louisville can lose to Notre Dame. If they want to win the ACC, remember there was a 3-game stretch where Louisville. This is game 1, 3-game stretch where preseason, as someone that has Louisville to win the ACC a ticket on, I thought, okay, there's a gigantic 3-game stretch where they're at NC State, home to Notre Dame, and at Pitt. Well, that Pitt game ain't looking so difficult now. So I don't even give a shit if they lose the Notre Dame game. If they can win this is like their Super Bowl here. If they win this,
might be your over or under, because it's what 8.
No. If I'm saying if they win this, ACC. I think they're going to the fucking ACC championship.
That's very.
I don't think Louisville's in a state. The program is in a state where there's like a look ahead game. This is a big time matchup. On the road Friday night. I think they're looking right at this game. I don't think they're looking ahead.
Let's go. Who you taking, Patty?
I think I'm taking Louisville just based on when they went up 21-0 on Indiana. I don't know if they got conservative and let Indiana get back into it. I thought Indiana battled back a little bit.
Yeah.
But they did dominate Boston College. They had dominated Murray State. Obviously, that means nothing. I mean, they've been pretty damn on fire for a while. They're getting better.
Yeah.
But this is a really tough stretch for them. So hopefully they're dialed in.
Yeah. All right. Moving along. 2. Man, the Friday slate is fan-fucking-tastic. Let's be honest. This is the best Friday, maybe the best Friday night of the whole fucking season.
Probably is.
Let's jump over before we get to another big time matchup. I'm taking you old school. We got an Ivy League game on national TV, guys. This game dates back, and I shit you not. Columbia at Princeton dates back to 1874. When the hell did the Civil War end?
18.
Stonewall Jackson played fullback.
Yeah, 69.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
I'm saying,
Right.
he had fucking
Stonewall Jackson's a linebacker. Come on,
that's true, and he didn't play up north with those Yankee. He called them Yankee pussies back then.
College football is the South.
Yeah. No, not back then.
Ulysses
back then
Grant
it was 100% the Northeast. Yeah,
that's true.
So look, this game goes back to 1874. Holy shit. Get your eyes on some Ivy League football. Honor the history of this fine country.
Isn't it crazy that the blue-gray game was played into like the night? I want to say even the early 2000s, maybe.
Yeah.
I remember that. It's like honoring this fucking Civil War.
Yeah.
That is a great game.
It's wild. Absolutely wild. Now,
probably one that is better off not being played anymore.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I never thought about that, but especially for some of the players in it, that would be kind of awkward.
Yeah, exactly. Princeton's laying 11. The Tigers, are we Tigers on this spot? Look, Columbia just beat the piss randomly. Georgetown was red hot, and Columbia beats them 30-0. Meanwhile, Princeton loses in overtime to the Bryant Bulldogs. I think it's a get right spot. They got Nick. You'll like this. Blake Stenstrom, son of Steve Stenstrom, is the quarterback of Princeton. He is a Colorado transfer from a few years ago, not the Dion transfer era, but from a few years ago. I think that we lay the 11, even though 11 is like 1,000 points in an Ivy League football game. I think we lay it. Princeton's got those awesome uniforms that are even better than Michigan's.
Yeah.
So lay the 11. Let's go Tigers. We Tigers.
Plus Princeton 14th on the college football all-time wins list.
Oh,
it's a blue blood.
Actually,
do we ride with blue bloods?
No. Check this out. The first year they ever played, what did I say it was? 1874. Princeton won the national championship that year.
Well, they're 1-0 though.
Say get it? No, it was like 3-0.
3-0.
Get the fuck out of the way, Columbia. All right, and they won that. They won that.
They hung that banner.
Hang that fucking banner. Let's go.
They lost last week. I agree.
Get right
Princeton in a bounce back. Sure.
Patty.
Sure.
There we go. There we go.
All right, back to the games that matter.
Hey, the Ivy League fucking matters, and that you can make. There's some edges. You can make some fucking money. Jamison Wang with Cornell battles back down 14 last week. My bank account is doing fine after that.
Let these fools decide they want to get into NIL, and we'll see how much.
NC Nick's saying that over
Ivy
there.
League matters.
Yeah, he's a fucking Duke fan. Judging what the hell is going on?
Because they're wannabe Ivy League.
Yeah.
A top 25 team in America. Maybe top 10 if they get a dub this weekend.
Yeah, not top 10
I bet
academic.
You Princeton.
That's
I bet
reserved
you
for Ivy
Princeton
League.
wins. I bet you Princeton's up on that series. I bet you Princeton is winning all time against your little Blue Devils, buddy.
All right.
All right.
Well,
put that in your pipe and smoke it. All right, let's go to Corvallis.
Thank you.
All right, Utah at Oregon State. I'm locking the fuck out of this one. This goes back to 1931. The series is dead even. Utah won last year, but the year before in Corvallis, Oregon State says we're not playing that shit. This is they're the same team. They're the same team. Oregon State lay the 3 points because you're telling me it's going to be Cam Rising's first start since the injury. I wouldn't want to throw him out there against the top defense of the Pac-12 a year ago. There's no way Utah's winning this. There's no way. I will lay the 3. NC Nick, what are you doing here?
3.5.
Completely. Whatever it is.
I'm seeing a flat 3 right now.
That makes a difference.
Yeah.
I don't either one. I'm definitely on Oregon State. I'm gonna lock it up. Also, I don't care if Rising is playing or not. This is a perfect spot for the Beavs at home. I mean, and Utah, when they're at home, they're a monster. They don't lose to anybody. But on the road, they're one game this year. They needed a touchdown with under 20 seconds left to beat a bad Baylor team that's 1-3. So coming off the loss, Oregon State at home, prime time all day. I'll lock it up too.
There we go. Double locks in Corvallis.
Matty C, you want to make it a party?
No, I don't. In fact, I disagree with both of you. I think 3.5 is too many. I think this could easily be a 3-point game. If it's 3, then I'm
seeing flat 3, but
okay
whatever
I'm
you
more
want.
Okay with that.
If you want to take the 3.5, take the 3.5. All right.
Look, I just think Utah's they figured it out when Cam Rising wasn't playing. They were figuring out the quarterback situation on the fly. Okay, they still managed to beat a 3-1 Florida team. Hand them their only loss.
They suck.
Beat a good
Florida
UCLA
sucks.
team.
Florida sucks.
Okay,
you can't just say 3-1. They beat McNeese and Charlotte.
And
you're
Tennessee. They whooped the shit out of them.
They're not even good.
Okay, well they're okay. And Oregon State, meanwhile, was getting housed by Washington State. And who the fuck have they beaten? San Jose State, not good. UC Davis, meh. FCS and San Diego State, not that good. That said, I respect both teams. I think you're right.
Here's why it's going to work.
I think Oregon State wins at home, but I think they might win by 3. They might win by 2.
Here's why it's going to work.
I'm going to lean Utah.
Utah is not going to be able to run. Oregon State's run defense is the strength of their defense. If anything, you saw Washington State expose a brand new secondary from Oregon State a year ago. This is the weakness of their team. I think Utah is going to try to run the ball. Oregon State's going to bottle them up.
Cam Rising that is coming back.
I don't give a shit who it is. All right.
Maybe they are a little more explosive than they have been when they have their fucking all conference level quarterback.
What happens when top 10 teams go into Corvallis, Patty? So you know this for fucking 20 years.
It's true. It's harder. It's harder.
You got that turnover chainsaw? You're lucky I don't have it right now. I'd fucking slice you.
You might be right.
And shout out to Chad G in the chat who agrees with Colby and I. Chad is the fine person we met in Fort Collins and had some drinks with. So cheers, Chad.
Yeah, there you go. Hell of a good guy. All right, let's jump on over to El Paso, Texas, where the Louisiana Tech Bulldogs head into one of the greatest stadiums in America, the Sun Bowl. I mean, both these teams really suck ass. La Tech is laying 1, right? Or UTEP laid 1. UTEP's laid 1. I'm on La Tech just because I think Dana Dimble's done. I think he's done. I don't have a lot of faith in this game. I think if you're betting this game, bet the over. Don't bet anything else. Give me La Tech though, even though I don't know why. I just feel like they're like a little more talented, and I think the buy-in on Dana Dimble's team is on the decline, and I think he's going to be unemployed in a few months here. Patty C, what are you doing in El Paso?
I think Vegas has it about right. I think I guess a close loss to Jacksonville State is probably the most impressive thing on UTEP's schedule. Nothing. I guess the win over FIU is probably the most impressive thing on Louisiana Tech. I don't know which one means more to me. I'll lean the home team though. I'll go UTEP.
Miners, tink, says Patty C. Nick, what are you doing here in El Paso, Texas?
Well, look, we're 4 weeks into the college football season, 4.5 if you want to count week 0. So I think some of this year's auto fades are beginning to, arrive and show themselves. And for me, UTEP is one of them. They are trash. I'm going to go La Tech. Keith is asking if Bachmeier's starting. I think, does he have a questionable tag right now? I'm not sure.
I thought I saw questionable.
Yeah, but either way, I think La Tech wins because, like Colby said, UTEP is trash, and they may have a new head coach here in the very near future.
You may be right. I don't know. Well, North Texas, how are they? That was a loss for Louisiana Tech. They're 1-2. That was
they
their only
suck
win.
too. They're all in the same.
Both of these teams, you're right, suck ass.
Yeah.
So I guess maybe Louisiana Tech. Who knows?
All right, final game on Friday night. NC Nick, you gonna be staying up for this one?
No.
Oh, you coward.
Probably not.
Provo, Utah.
Disrespect.
All right, the Cincinnati Bearcats are laying 2. I'm seeing 2 right now. This line has bounced all the fucking around. I think BYU opened up as like a 2-point favorite. Now it's Cincinnati -2. I don't understand why it's doing that. And I can tell you this is a rivalry that goes back. Well, not a rivalry, but this is a meeting that goes back to 2015. BYU has a 2-0 all-time lead because Patty C's trying to sprinkle this Cincinnati skyline chili bullshit. No, BYU. I feel this is almost a lock. BYU is winning this game in Provo. This is their Big 12 home opener. They're better. They're a better football team than Cincinnati.
As Colby says, it's going to be lit in Provo. You know it is.
Yeah.
They're coming home after back-to-back road trips. Meanwhile, Cincinnati lost 2 straight home games. I think some home cooking is the medicine BYU needs right now, and I think they win also.
Patty C, bring your super soaker.
No, everyone in Utah will be super soaking after this one. I think you guys are right. Look, Cincinnati, I just think BYU is a really tough place to play. I don't think you need to face. I think they severely outgained Miami. They should have been 3-0 after that game.
Miami,
Ohio.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And then look, that was a tough loss. Like I know we didn't get to talk about it in the recap, but that was a grind of a game.
No, that game pissed me off because Cincinnati had the ball inside Oklahoma's 40 35 times and to come away with 6 points.
It's the same thing that happened against Miami, Ohio. They get down to the red zone, not convert. Oklahoma, however, even though they scored 20 points, that offense was fucking rolling. They are better than that. Oklahoma's a much better team than Cincinnati.
Really? We didn't come away super impressed with Oklahoma.
They can't run the ball. But when they fucking are passing, right? They just march down the field in 30 seconds.
They scored 20 points.
I don't care. They would get down there so fast. Now it is a thing that they can't. They had the same problem with Cincy in that game. Either way, BYU not as explosive, so I think this one will also be a grind. But I think the Friday night in Provo, I think money line BYU is
a lot of people in the chat calling for a lock.
It's close.
I'm not locking against my boys.
It is close.
I was just waiting for somebody to convince me, but I guess I'll.
I by the end of the episode, let's revisit this. All right.
See how many locks we have.
Yeah. Let's jump over to Saturday. This rivalry, fucking fantastic. However, when they play at a Jerry's World, it just doesn't bang the same way it should. But still, this is the Southwest Classic. It dates back to 1903, and Arkansas has an 8-game lead despite losing 10 of 11. And get this, I almost feel like Arkansas is cursed because they've been playing a lot of these at Jerry's World. Jerry Jones is a Arkansas grad, former Arkansas football player. They've lost I feel like every one of these are like an overtime or like a 2-point game
or a crazy comeback by A&M.
or a crazy 99-yard fumble return. Yeah. These games are awesome as far as just you never
value, right?
project what the fuck is going to happen accurately. So, but the only thing we do know is that A&M normally wins this matchup. Max Johnson getting the start. Like I said, Connor Wegmans is out out for the season. Sam Pittman, they almost knocked off LSU. I'm buying in. Give me the 6.5 with the Razorbacks. I think they're live, to tell you the truth. Patty?
Yeah, 100%.
Bama's on deck for A&M.
Probably a bit of a look ahead spot, maybe a bit of a letdown spot after beating Auburn. Maybe Arkansas is the more glamorous program or less glamorous than Auburn. Either way, you got to figure their focus for this game, but I think Arkansas can cover 6.
Yeah, 6. Yeah, 6. Yeah, you're right. And Sam Pulled Pork Pittman. I don't like fading Sam Pulled Pork Pittman. NC Nick, what are you doing here?
I think I'm going to agree with you guys. Arkansas coming off, 2 close 1-score losses to BYU and LSU. Sounds like they're going to get Rocket Sanders back. I think this is a good spot to take the points. This is going to be a close game.
Let's jump on over to, what's this? New Haven Stores? Where the fuck is the Wrench? Where everyone gets twisted. CBS Sports Network, East Hartford, Connecticut. What have I told you? Utah State's never lost to the UConn Huskies. Patty C, would you believe that?
Yeah, I would guess they probably haven't played more than a couple times.
Yeah, this series goes back to 2001 and Utah State 2-0 all time. Now, can they go cross country and take down Jim Mora? I don't think so. I think Jim Mora is going to win his first game right here. They're plus what? 195 on the money line, according to Noah Beanick.
Is this their first trip to the wrench?
This is the first trip to the wrench.
Oh, that's a big
People
difference.
Get twisted. Give me the Huskies +6. Ride that money line. I'm not locking it though. Patty C, what are you doing here?
Look, Utah State, even though they got some bullshit touchdowns, did manage to keep it pretty close against JMU. I guess the loss against Iowa and Air Force are more understandable. Crushing Idaho State looks good. I think they're a better team than UConn. What's the spread on this one again? Sorry,
6. It's on the TV. Oh no, I guess it's not. But it was
6. Look,
we're at 1.
The wrench is going to be a hard enough. No, I'm taking Utah State. I'm taking Utah State to cover 6.
Going with the Mountain West. NC Nick, what are you doing here at the wrench where everyone gets twisted?
I'm with Patty C. I think UConn might be auto fade team number 2. You know, they covered week 1 against NC State, but since then it's all been downhill. Haven't cut. I mean, and they've lost bad. Like according to the ATS line, it was like 18,
Fagnano
14,
got injured, buddy.
Points. He's still injured. He ain't playing.
He's out for the season.
Exactly. So what changes? So no, I'm gonna ride Utah State here.
Well, let's see. Is this the easiest opponent UConn's played so far? Because NC State, Georgia State 4-0, right?
Yeah, I'm about to say
FIU's 3-2.
I'm about to say,
and Duke is 4-0.
Yeah,
this has been a hard schedule.
They're winning this. They're fucking winning this.
UConn might bounce back, but I'm still on Utah State.
Penn State's heading to Ryan Field. All right, where everyone rides the car wash. But Penn State's laying 27 points.
There's a lot of jokes that can be made between these two schools at this point.
Yeah, everyone is. I didn't even think about the other angle. 27 points too much. Northwestern somehow they just had a magical.
Who
comeback.
has more fun in the shower, Penn State or Northwestern?
Oh God, disgusting on the Penn State front. Northwestern one, I feel like come on,
it's disgusting too. Come on.
Well, whatever the fuck they've been doing, I don't have. I don't know that there's ever proof of it really
of
being
the car wash existing.
Penn State. No, I'm taking Northwestern +27. Nick, what are you doing here?
I'm gonna lay the points. I think I've been against Penn State every week and I've lost every time. So I'm tired of losing, taking points, versus Penn State. So I'm gonna jump on the Nittany Lions.
No, although it's close because a 17-point loss against Rutgers means you think Penn State's probably at least 10 points better than.
I mean, I just feel like Penn State, they just won a whiteout game. I feel like they come out a little flat. Yeah. They open it up in the third quarter, win by 24.
Beating Minnesota in overtime is a pretty big accomplishment. It's probably going to put some confidence in that Northwestern team. I think it's too many points. Penn State, I saw a stat though, 0 turnovers on the year, playing phenomenally, efficient football there.
Yeah. UAB heading down to take on, heading to New Orleans. Take on the Green Wave. All right.
It's easy to see a tide turn.
We need a Ric Flair quote. New Orleans.
Yeah, I got that somewhere here, but that's gonna take a big effort.
Yeah,
but
don't worry about
that. They're laying 22 points. This was at like 18 or 19 earlier in the week. I was like, I'm gonna take Tulane. 22. I think you ride with UAB. NC Nick, what are you doing here?
I don't know, man. I think UAB also might be on the auto fade list. The last 3 games have given up 49 points, 41 points, and 49 points again. Michael Pratt is back for Tulane, and they're about to open up a can on UAB.
Patty C, what are you doing here?
Tulane. I mean, UAB has played okay, but
no, they buttered it up. That Louisiana game. We watched that here, man. They scored like 21 points in like the final 3 minutes.
Louisiana's 3-1. Georgia Southern, that was a loss, 3-1. Georgia 4-0. Again, another team that's played a tough schedule. They whooped A&T, their only easy game. I took UAB. I don't think they're good though, but I do think Tulane calls off the dogs. Willie Fritz doesn't want to piss off Trent Dilfer. Trent Dilfer's got connects to the Sports Center. He's made that known. All right. You try to steal his players, he'll call SVP. That's right.
All right.
I think Tulane is playing for style points. They won another trip to the New Year's Six, so I think they don't call off the dogs. So give me the 22. Give me the Green Wave.
Speaking of the Louisiana Raging Cajuns, they hit the road to Minneapolis where they're catching 11. I mean, I thought we've been pretty spot on with Minnesota. They can't score. I know they somehow scored in the 30s last week, and I still need to watch the tape to see how that happened. But they have multiple weeks with 13 points. They only put up 25 against EMU. Louisiana's got better athletes than EMU. I'm taking the 11 because I don't believe they can get more than 24 points in this game. So you're telling me right then, can Louisiana score 2 touchdowns? I think they can. Give me the Raging Cajuns.
Minnesota's highest point output so far is 25 points. They scored 13, 25.
No. Against Northwestern, they just got in the 30s, but it was in overtime. Okay. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, I'm with you. Louisiana. I think they cover that.
Nick?
Minnesota's 0-4 ATS, and I've picked against them every week. And 3 of those games, they were the favorite.
How bad is the Big Ten West?
Yeah, it's
awful.
It's
fucking bad.
I don't think I'd lay double digits with Minnesota if they're playing McNeese State, and the Raging Cajuns are better than McNeese. So give me the points.
Homecoming noon kickoff. Do you think they're going to be asleep, or there's a homecoming environment? Hype them up to.
I mean, maybe he rows the boat. I don't think they can score that much though, man. Like people talking about the under. I think you. Yeah,
I think you guys are right with the look ahead spot to Michigan. You got to go Cajuns here, right?
Yeah, definitely. Clemson is heading to Syracuse, the Dome, the filthy Dome, where Rocky Long and the Syracuse Orangemen are playing like they got fucking Joe Morris back at running back. All right. Clemson's laying 6.5. Are they baiting you? I think Clemson is going to win this game, but I think Syracuse is covering because I think Rocky Long is good. Hey, Cade Klubnik, you would have won the game if you could read the safety running at you for 30 minutes. He drops back. They're about to get a 10-point lead or a 14-point. Like Florida State had no business winning that game, and the safety blitz. I'm watching it. We and NC Nick are at a restaurant.
15
I'm
seconds.
just like, whoa,
come on.
Right? I can see it. And the bartender brings me he fills up a full beer, brings it back to me, and he's still running at him. And Cade Klubnik's just like this, gets hit, fumbles. Florida State returns for a touchdown. The rest is history.
Interesting fact. Even though Colby and I were on Florida State last week, Colby was actually rooting for Clemson in that game.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
I was surprised.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah. Well, because I needed that
hate more.
I had Florida State under. You realize I had them losing to Pitt in November after watching Pitt. I was like, whoa.
Florida State can if they can almost lose to Boston College, they can still maybe lose to Pitt.
They can lay a clunker.
Either way, I'm taking Syracuse plus 6.5. I think Rocky Long will look. He runs that 3-3-5 where they're going to be running. Those safeties are going to be doing the exact. If Klubnik doesn't read the safety coming for 45 minutes. Rocky Long's going to make his life live in hell. Give me the Qs plus 6.5. Patty C, what are you doing here in that filthy JMA, whatever the fuck they're calling it?
This one's a tough one because as we saw with Charleston, Southern Florida Atlantic, Clemson annihilating both of them after losing to Duke. I don't think Dabo likes losing very much. They both suck, but they performed really well.
You know, Western Carolina just put 77 points up on Charleston Southern.
Okay, yeah, so it doesn't really prove that much, but they did play well. Okay, and they should have beaten Florida State. Let's be fucking honest here. If the guy could kick a field goal from straight ahead,
if he could read the blitz,
or if he could read the blitz. But even still, under 2 minutes left, you have a fucking straight ahead, almost chip shot.
He didn't use the portal.
That's true. You could blame it on that. You could blame it on the portal. But 6.5's a lot for a 4-0 Syracuse team. I think I gotta go Syracuse. I don't feel great about it.
NC Nick, ACC specialist here. What are you doing here?
I think Clemson is due for some good luck, actually. Yeah, they should have beat Florida State. And even though losing to Duke 28-7, I mean, they were kind of the better team there. They just had some really fluky stuff happen. Like, red
I
zone
don't think they're the better
turnovers.
team. I don't think I'll say this.
They were better than that
the
score.
Yeah, the score was better. I think Duke was actually the better team that day.
Either way, I don't think they lose, 3 games in their first 5, and I think they can win by more than a touchdown. I'm actually going to lay the points with Clemson.
I can see it.
The first time they ever played was 1996. Isn't that crazy?
Who's more orange? Who's the oranger team? I got to say the Orange Man. Yeah. You have orange in your name.
Syracuse is more pink, like Bob Costas' eye. You know what I mean?
Wait, who is the other announcer? Marv Albert. Marv Albert or Bob Costas?
Marv Albert's a legend. He's like, who would have thought the guy going, yes, City hits, was like taking home a prostitute and putting her fucking panties on his head. Yeah, I got no idea. But in my mind, like I did not see that coming from Marv Albert. So like to me, more impressed.
Childhood kind of changed after that. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It's like, I always thought the guy was such a square. It was like, that's like finding out Jim Gray has like, you know what I mean? That's like finding out Jim Gray's like, just
a dom.
I don't think anything would surprise me with Jim Gray. He seems creepy.
Oh God, throwing it out there.
Yeah, he's always doing the boxing coverages in Vegas. He's getting a prostitute.
Oh yeah,
Jim Gray is getting a prostitute.
Probably tranny prostitutes.
Okay, we're just throwing shade
Jim Gray
at Jim
catching
Gray.
strays. Yeah, you're right. But I mean, look, there's a lot of these analysts that I feel like, Marv Alberts was a bit of a shock. I did not see that one coming. No,
analyst. That's what Marv Albert was, an analyst.
Let's jump on over to Boulder, Colorado, where the Colorado Buffaloes are catching 21.5 points. Look, the series dates back to 1927, and USC is 16-0 all time against the Buffs. 21.5 is too much. I just watched Arizona State push USC to the fucking brink. This was a 7-point game with like 6 minutes left in the fourth. Arizona State, I think, is the worst team in the Pac-12. So, if you're telling me Colorado coming back home, getting 21.5, stop it.
Well, I don't get. You're counting down 7, 6, 5.
Colorado's going to move the ball. USC doesn't have the defenders yet. Did you see Cameron Scattaboo, who, if you watch, he's Arizona State starting running back, but he is a transfer from Sac State in the FCS. And I know Magic Man Blacko, I got to hit me up. I got to remind me that I need to send you a Jameson bottle. But
Scatterbo came from where?
Sac State.
Sac State.
Did you see that run on? Did you see that run on USC where he's just running over every player on USC's defense? It was like three USC players just got trampled by Scattaboo. I just don't believe in the toughness in this defense, and I think Colorado will be able to move the ball on them. USC wins. Colorado. I mean, it's worth sprinkling the money line just because I feel like Colorado is going to be able to move the ball on that defense.
Yeah, I'm going to disagree. Okay. I think Colorado will be able to move the ball on that defense, but I think USC does
4 touchdowns.
Wait,
or 21.5 points.
Yeah, three and change. Yeah, I mean, look, I think USC is a far better team than Colorado. Travis Hunter's not walking out the door. I don't even know if Shiloh Sanders is walking through that door. Then again, he's not nearly the impact player that Travis Hunter is. But either way, I expect USC's offense to explode. Colorado's to get off a little bit, but 21.5. Give me USC.
And see,
what's been the most watched game or one of the most watched games every weekend?
Colorado.
It's been the Colorado game. USC, Caleb Williams, they know this. They want to show out. I just think they were bored with that Arizona State game. And look, Oregon scored 35 points in the first half before taking their foot off the gas. I think USC can do something similar. I'm going to lay the points.
Well, I do think USC can score better than Oregon, but I think a lot of that, it was them forcing 3 and outs on Colorado because Oregon's defensive line is much better than USC's.
Sure. That's true. One little stat nugget here. Colorado 3-0 and Big Noon Kickoff has visited their game 0-1 when they're not there. Big Noon Kickoff is coming to Boulder once again.
There you go. All right. Look, I feel like there's going to be 1,000 yards of offense in that game. South Alabama is traveling to Harrisonburg. So look at this 9 a.m. slate, man. You got A&M, Arkansas, that filthy dome. You got another filthy dome game in Clemson, Syracuse. Then you got USC, Colorado. I mean, that's another thing. Is USC's playing at 9 a.m. Can we talk about that? You sure about? You just think they're going to be fucking firing the laser all over?
Colorado,
9 a.m. for
Pacific.
Yeah,
10
that's early.
10 a.m.
No, but for Caleb Williams and the USC people, it is 9 a.m. You know
that
what I mean?
That is early, and that fucks. I remember Stanford a few years back went like 10-2, and Northwestern went like 2-10. But Stanford lost to Northwestern because it was a 9 or like an 8 a.m. West Coast kick.
Yeah.
It fucks with these West Coast teams.
Take the points. But look, we also have a couple other bangers. South Alabama heading into JMU. Don't insult me here. This is a lock.
Ooh.
South Alabama is a better football team than James Madison.
Ooh.
South Alabama went to Oklahoma State and beat them 34-7.
33-7.
Okay, that was last week was the letdown spot. Now conference play starts. You return 22 starters. On a team from not 22 starters. I'm sorry, 20 out of 22 starters. The lights are flickering here. It's fucking me. Fucking with me. Anyway, that's a lot, guys. They're covering 3.5. Sprinkle the money line on South Alabama. I think they're live. Nick?
I'm going to agree with you. I'm not going to lock it up. I mean, South Alabama only lost 2 games, I think, last year, and they've already lost 2 games this year, just 2-2. So they're a desperate team. Meanwhile, JMU coming home after that 3-game road trip, 4-0 start. They don't need this game as much. I think they're 2 roughly equal teams. I would favor South Alabama, so I'm definitely going to take the points.
I have to disagree that they don't need this game as much. This game is the springboard to the rest of the season for JMU. They get a bye and then they get Georgia Southern at home coming off the bye. But this is the end of this early season stretch that is murderous, and they've managed it and they've squeaked by a bunch of times. But here they are alive. They're finally back at home, and it's the difference between a great season and a good season for JMU. I think it means enough for JMU to get this done and cover 3.5.
They already beat Troy, so you haven't beaten both of the best teams from the Sun Belt West. I don't know if that's going to happen.
The best team in the Sun Belt is South Alabama this year.
We shall find out in short order.
Maybe Georgia State.
They did just lose to Central Michigan.
Yeah, that was the letdown spot. Saw it coming from a mile away.
What makes you think they're great? They beat Southeastern Louisiana. They lost they got their shit pushed in by Tulane.
Louisiana FCS playoff team last year.
Okay, and then they did whoop Oklahoma State. That was impressive.
Yeah,
I'm not shitting on South Alabama. I just think.
Well, we'll see you at Bridgeforth Connect.
We will.
All right, let's go.
Shall.
All right, next up we go to Lexington. This is still the 9 a.m. slate here on the West. Florida heads to Kentucky. This series dates back to 1917. Florida might have a 33-game lead, but Stoops is coming on, winning 3 of 5, including the last 2. Can he make it 3 in a row? Look, this is a fringe lock for me. You guys can talk me into a lock here. I got Kentucky -1.5. I think Florida's. Did you watch that Florida Charlotte game? Florida sucks. Even though I don't even know who Kentucky is. That's the only scary thought.
Exactly. They haven't been challenged yet.
I don't know who Kentucky is, but I do think I trust them more than Florida. I think Florida's off. What Graham Mertz was averaging like 2.7 yards of completion. Yeah, I'm on Kentucky -1.5. Patty C.
Kentucky's combined 4 opponents are 5-12 on the year. They have played absolute hot garbage. I think Florida's a much better team, and I think I'm going to take Florida on the road. Money line.
Boom. Nick?
I'm taking Kentucky, but I don't feel great about it just because they haven't played anybody yet, and Florida's already played the likes of Utah and Tennessee. So they're much more battle.
And McNeese and Charlotte.
And McNeese and Charlotte. Much more battle tested, but I do like Kentucky at home to win their 3rd straight.
It's only a 1-point spread.
Yeah.
Okay.
So bold money line call there, Patty.
1.5
+100.
You see that hook?
Yeah. Buffalo is heading to Akron. Oh, my zips. My fucking zips. This series dates back to the year 2000. All right. So, Y2K motherfuckers, Y2K. All right. Look, Buffalo has an 11-10. Yeah. Make sure you got your batteries, your fucking lanterns, everything. All right. Buffalo has a 11-10 all-time lead. Akron's. You remember this game last year? This game last year, the makeup game. There was like a snowstorm, which, they rescheduled, so our ticket pushed. But then Akron had the game won. They're running out the clock. They fumble, running out the clock. Buffalo gets the ball. They go like 80 yards in 3 plays, and they win the game. Now they got to come to Akron, Ohio. This is revenge on the mind. Akron almost beat Indiana last week. I'm laying the 2.5 with the Zips. Buffalo's one of the worst teams in college football. Let's go. I need this win for my over. I do have a ticket on the Akron over. Patty C, what are you doing in Akron, Ohio there? That's a rubber bowl.
The loss by Buffalo to Fordham looks terrible, but Fordham is 3-1. Still 2.5. I think at the Rubber Bowl, Akron easily gets that.
Infocision, they call it now, but yeah,
it's the Rubber Bowl.
I'm
on Akron.
Nick?
Yeah, I was just waiting. I think I don't think Vegas even knew what to do with this game, so they just said home team -3. But it's Lindquist's 3 years at Buffalo have been pretty interesting because I think his best year was year 1, where I guess he was just utilizing the talent that Leopold brought in there. So I'm gonna go Akron. I think they're better. They're at home. It's only a field goal. Let's go Zips.
All right, let's jump on over. Let's stay in the MAC. Let's go back to a game that's been happening since 1902. Eastern Michigan at Central Michigan. Fire up, Chips. You come up with that huge win in South Bama, and the MAC, giving the MAC some credit, some respect. But now you're a 7.5 point favorite against Chris Creighton. Ain't happening. Ain't happening. Give me Chris Creighton. Look, I know last week he gave me a dud. I bet on Chris Creighton. They got shut out 21-0 to Jacksonville State and Rich Rod. But this is personal. All right. 7.5 is too much. CMU might win. 7.5 is too much. This is fringe lock potential to me. I just got a little, I'm a little scared after last week. NC Nick, what are you doing here in what is this? Mount Pleasant, Michigan.
Originally, I was thinking the same as you until I looked a little bit deeper into that Eastern Michigan Jacksonville State game where Eastern Michigan went 1 of 15 on 3rd down, 0 for 3 on 4th down, only threw for 95 yards, only ran for 57 yards, 1.6 yards per rush, and lost a turnover battle 3-0. It's not like Jacksonville State is Florida State. So
I need to remind you? Whoa.
They did beat Florida State.
Do I
3 years ago?
Yeah, I was about to say. And do I need to remind you that Central Michigan needed a 60-yard drive to beat FCS New Hampshire? Because I think Eastern Michigan's better than New Hampshire.
Look, I like to fade Central Michigan after a big road win, and usually we like Eastern Michigan as a dog, but I just can't do it after last week's performance.
All right. Patty C, what are you doing here in Mount Pleasant?
I mean, Eastern Michigan looks like ass. Squeaking by Howard, I guess.
They
10
were up
points.
like 21-0 though.
Squeaking by UMass is a bad look.
That's true. I can't defend that.
I mean, even the loss to Minnesota looks a little worse now.
They covered. Yeah.
Meanwhile, Central Michigan's loss to Michigan State looks pretty bad. But beating South Alabama last week is enough to convince me that 7.5 is too many points. Wait. Let me get this straight. Yeah, that's too many points. Eastern Michigan, they know how to keep games close.
Yeah, EMU baby, let's go. Virginia, Patty C, where are you at on the win total front on the Wahoos?
I took the under, so I don't know if you're giving me shit here.
Did he? I thought I took the over.
I thought you took the over.
Maybe I did. Maybe I went with Terrell Furman on the over. Look, I think they've played some pretty fucking tough teams. Tennessee's 3-1, JMU's 4-0, Maryland's 4-0. Yeah, and NC State's 3-1, and they've pplayed 2 of them.
They're only undefeated because they played Virginia. Though.
They could be 2-2. They were beating JMU most of that game. If Anthony Calandria,
let me tell you, if you
didn't have a 12-inch dick, then they might have fucking kept it close against NC State.
Well, check us out. If they don't win this, you can kiss that future goodbye.
This is it.
So check us out. Virginia's going to Chestnut Hill to take on Boston College. This series dates back to 1963. BC has won every matchup against Virginia until 2020, a COVID year, when Bronco Mendenhall got their first win against the Wahoos. The spread is BC, -3.5. That hook is fucking with me, man. Give me. I think Virginia can cover with the hook. I think BC is gonna win 31-28. Virginia gets the cover. God, it's disgusting saying that. NC Nick, you're an ACC specialist. What are you doing here at Chestnut Hill, where the heart of the ACC lives?
I did pick Boston College -3 earlier today. So even at 3.5, I'm not going to flip it, but I like Castellanos, the quarterback. Even in that blowout against Louisville, I thought he played well. And last time UVA hit the road, Calandria threw 3 interceptions on 3 straight passes. So it's a shit game, but I'll lean BC.
I think the long trip to BC makes me lean
I'm
BC.
going BC. Fuck this. I'm not taking Virginia. All right.
Dude, this is a team that almost beat JMU and NC State. They're not that bad. What I am sure of is even if you are right about them hitting the under this year, which you probably are,
could they go 0-12? Because next week is William and Mary.
William and Mary is what? Undefeated.
They're undefeated.
FCS level. They could go 0-12. And I would still think that the future could be bright.
Oh, shut the
with
fuck
Tony
up.
Elliott and Anthony Calandria.
Good God.
Look, I'm even impressed with Des Kitchings a little bit.
You're sounding like fucking Marv Alberts right now. All right, good
I
God.
will bite your fucking back. Look,
please don't. You already had the Brokeback comment. Right? Like, please don't.
Get loose here. What I'm
don't
saying
even
is
stand
this.
behind him.
Yeah.
Anthony Calandria. You want to talk about Brendan Armstrong setting records? Anthony Calandria.
Oh, Calandria, my ass.
3 of the top 4 passing performances all time by a UVA true freshman. All right, the guy is.
I kind of like him.
Yeah,
I
kind of like him too. And there's 0 chance he's playing for the Wahoos next year. All right, he's going to transfer.
He'll get snapped up.
Yeah, he's going to transfer upward and go to probably Central Michigan, probably.
JMU. Hello.
Miami, Ohio is at Kent State. This is one. This goes back a way. I love these little. Hey, Mac, you can use the Tuesdays and Wednesdays in September too. All right, because look, this is a fun one. It goes back to 1942. But Miami, Ohio does have a 33 game lead. However, Kent State's won 2 of the last 5, showing signs of life in this showdown. Miami, Ohio's laying 14.5, 15. I'm laying it. Nick, what are you doing here?
Another auto fade team is Kent State. We've been saying it all year. I'll lay the big number with the Red Hawks.
Look, I mean, the loss to Miami, Florida at the beginning of the season, excusable. Miami, Ohio looking pretty good right now. I'll lay it too.
Yeah, they're solid. They're solid. Just correct.
We will help King, baby.
Arizona State is heading to Berkeley, California to drop acid. The series dates back to 1976. 1776. America was founded on Arizona State and Cal. Look, Cal leads the all-time series 18-17, despite Arizona State winning 3 of the last 4. I mean, this spread's at what, 12.5? Get this.
What's up with the injuries though? Is like everybody for Arizona State injured?
Yeah, Jaden Rashad. Look, let me read this. So Jaden Rashad is out, no doubt. Right, Drew Pine is out. So they're on, I think the BYU transfer, who was like 3rd or 4th on the depth chart of BYU, because either, and what is his name, Connor something, but they also have Trenton Borgat, who started a few games a season ago. He's questionable. If he's good to go, he will start over Jacob. It's Jacob Conover. He'll start over Conover. However, Jake Smith, their wide receiver, out for the season. Running back to Carlos Brooks, the former Cal Golden Bear, questionable. Running back George Hart, questionable. Wide receiver Jordan Tyson, questionable. It's a lot there. Now on the other side of things, Ben Finley, the brother of Ryan Finley, is questionable, and running back Byron Cardwell is out for the season for the California Golden Bears. I still think Cal is much better than Arizona State. I will lay the points.
I didn't see I haven't obviously been watching it closely on Cal. Is Ott back?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. They were able to put up. They beat a pretty good Idaho team. Cal handed Idaho their only loss. Idaho who beat Nevada, right?
Yeah.
And then
also just beat Sac State, who beat Stanford.
Yeah, that's true. And then almost beat Auburn. I think Cal is decent, and I think Arizona State sucks. I think I'm going to lay the points.
Nick, what are you doing here?
All right, you guys swayed me. I never liked laying that many points with Cal, but all these injuries are just piling up way too much. And maybe Arizona State, blew their load last week, so I'll go Cal.
All right, let's go to the deepest rivalry. What do they call this? Oldest rivalry in the Deep South?
Is it Georgia Auburn?
But what's the other one called? The oldest rivalry in the South?
Yeah.
What the fuck's going on here, guys?
Is North Carolina and Virginia really the South? Not really.
because North Carolina
It's the
Virginia is called
Mid-Atlantic.
the oldest rivalry in the South.
Well, it's technically the
Georgia
South.
Auburn is the oldest rivalry in the Deep South, whatever the fuck it's called.
They're trying to gain clout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This goes back to 1892. It is the 128th matchup. Georgia has a 7-game lead. However, Georgia has won 9 of the last 10. Georgia
They should say the oldest rivalry in the real South. That should be the moniker.
Georgia's laying 14.5, and I'm going to lay the 14.5, and I could be talked into a lock because I think Auburn. Look, I locked up the over on Auburn. I think they suck, and I'm going to eat shit on that bet. After watching Auburn, their only score against Texas A&M, which is a bad defense, was a defensive touchdown. I think I made a mistake on the Auburn Tigers preseason. I think 14.5 is pretty much a lock with the Georgia Bulldogs. Nick, what are you doing here?
Allow me to be the one to talk you into it because I think this is the game where Georgia looks like Georgia. And with Auburn, throw out the Samford in the UMass game. They scored 14 points on Cal, only 10 on A&M, only 3 points offensively. I think Georgia rolls here. I think the 14.5. I mean, come on, let's go.
Let's lock it. They're baiting you with that hook.
I am going to lock it too with you. Triple lock that. But both of these teams have played pathetic schedules where you can't really take that much away.
I mean, Auburn played Cal and A&M on both on the road.
And UMass, that's a conference game.
Oh, Auburn. Okay. I'm mistaken. I forgot about the A&M game last week.
That's a conference game. So triple lock. People are definitely questioning you after the intro and then this.
Georgia's only tough game though against South Carolina, which was at home, they only won by 10.
I think South Carolina is better than Auburn.
Better than Auburn. All right. What
are you doing?
I'm with you.
I'm about to say you locked it up. So, Baylor is heading to the Moonbounds to take on the very Golden Knights of Central Florida. Series goes back to 2014 where they met in the Fiesta Bowl, and UCF and George O'Leary pulled off the stunner with former porn star Blake Bortles. All right. I think we take the points with Baylor because I'm not sure about UCF. What's our story with Rice Plumlee here? I think I think
he's still injured. Check. I don't think he's playing.
Yeah, he was going to be out.
You
for a while.
gotta take the points.
I think you have to.
I mean,
Baylor's been garbage this year, but I think it's too many points.
Well, they're on their backup quarterback too.
Right.
This is hilarious.
No, Rice Plumlee missed last week. 13-point loss to K-State. That offense still put up 31 points. Baylor's offense, meanwhile, has struggled pretty much all year. They put up 30 against LIU. I guess they put up 31 against Texas State, but they're not known for their defense either. I think I want to lean UCF. I don't know. Is that a stupid ass play?
Yes,
that is.
Two backup quarterbacks. Take the points. When
all right,
happens.
I'll take the points.
Michigan is traveling to Nebraska. This game we thought might be interesting. No, this goes back to 1905 though. That's interesting. Michigan leads the all-time series 7-4.
I got a score prediction here. Michigan will score in between 30 and 35, and Nebraska will be score between 3 and 7 because that's all that ever happens in Michigan games this year.
Well, I would actually argue that Nebraska might be the worst offense they've seen all year. So
the fact that the over/under on this game is 39.
I will lay
volume.
the 17, and I also do like the over because I think Michigan's going to score high 20s, early 30s.
It's going to be between 30 and 35. They've done it every single game.
No, I'm saying the over. Can Nebraska score 10 points? Probably not, but I will take a chance that Nebraska scores one fucking touchdown. 35-7.
30. It's either 35-7. That's when the over hits. I'm going to say 31-7. I'm not going to bet that.
31-7 would not hit the over.
So I'm going to say the under.
All right. Nick, what are you doing here in Lincoln?
I think this game's pretty similar to the Georgia Auburn, where I think Michigan finally has probably their best game of the season. And in Nebraska's 2 P5 games, they've only scored 10 points and 14 points. So I do like laying the number. I like Georgia a little bit more, but I mean, I could almost be talked into Michigan's first cover of the year being a lock. No,
I could too. I think it's right. Fuck it.
Georgia, Michigan parlay.
I'm in. Fuck it.
I'll lock
Let's
Michigan
go.
to cover 17 easily.
Oh,
let's do
triple
it.
Lock.
Yeah,
we got a little parlay going.
Might be chalky as hell.
People go to college for 7 years.
Let's jump into it. We're locking up Michigan minus 17. Parlay with Georgia minus 14 and a half.
Turn it off. Good God. Yeah.
All right, now we got the Clinton Kennedy Bowl. All right. Arkansas State is heading to Amherst, Massachusetts. This game makes no sense.
What a shit game.
UMass is laying 1 because they deserve it. All right. Dude, if you're a UMass fan, your hearts have been broken here. Let me tell you about the past 2 weeks. All right. They're beating Eastern Michigan, right? They're in like a pre-event. And Eastern Michigan completes like a 20-yard pass. Perfect spot. Like the corner is right there giving them the 20-yard pass, right? The EMU receiver stiff arms the corner and takes it to the house, right? It was like 10 seconds left in the game. Eastern Michigan was about to UMass was about to beat Eastern Michigan and get their second win of the season.
Just get bitched.
then last week, New Mexico in the Roswell Bowl came up to Amherst, and UMass is looking like they got this thing. They were down 28-14 at the half, but they shut out New Mexico in the second half. They got the ball inside the 20 late. They have to settle for the field goal to send it to OT as opposed to scoring in overtime. New Mexico, who had been shut out the whole second half, finds a way to get the dub. This UMass team is knocking on the door of being decent. They get it done here against Arkansas State. I'm laying the 1 with UMass. Patty C, what are you doing in the Clinton Kennedy Bowl?
The 2-game win streak by Arkansas State doesn't scare you at all. Maybe they figured it out.
Jamie Hope.
I heard Bill met Hillary at one of these games.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, Mickey Mantle has a great story about how he used to get sucked off underneath the bleachers at Yankee Stadium. I heard rumors that Bill Clinton would go to this bowl game, this classic. Back then it was just called the Kennedy Bowl, and
that's where he got his first Lewinsky.
Yeah, speculation. Just from what we've heard. No official photos.
Hillary was an intern back then, so he got his first Hillary back then.
She was working at with the great people of Amherst in UMass. What are they? The Minutemen.
What the fuck are we talking about?
I don't know. I don't know where we're going here, but
was Bill a Minuteman that day?
Yeah, Bill was a Minuteman that day. Patty C, what are you doing? You taking the fucking Red Wolves? Or are you going with the Minutemen?
UMass. I'm all over UMass.
You know who I'm going with. I'm going with the Sun Belt team. I'm going with the team from the South to come up to the Northeast where college football doesn't even exist.
You're hilarious. All right.
Southern Miss, the team they just beat, only 1-3, and their only win was against Alcorn State. It's not an impressive win for Arkansas State. Meanwhile, Arkansas State's other win was what? Stony Brook. That's an FCS. There's nothing to be understood from that. I'm going to say UMass has looked more impressive despite getting blown out by Auburn.
Yeah, but don't like I don't know. If we're talking to Bill Clinton.
The only thing on my mind, Gene, was pussy.
You're right. And look, even the Miami, Ohio loss, 13 points, 2-point loss against Eastern Michigan.
They're solid, man.
Overtime loss.
I don't know how they keep losing these, but they're
almost 4-1.
Yeah, very, very close. NC Nick, what are you doing? You're going with your Sunbelt team, huh?
Yes.
All right. Northern Illinois is heading to Toledo. Man. Toledo's laying 13.5 points. Rocky Lombardi, he hasn't gotten better. He's in his 35th year of college. I don't know how the fuck they lost to Tulsa. I'm laying the points. The Rockets are for real. Lay it. This is a game that goes back quite a ways as well. Shout out to the MAC doing these early conference games. I still think they should be weekday games, but this goes back to 1967. Patty C, what are you doing here?
Little homecoming action in Toledo. The Glass Bowl is going to be on fire, and that offense has been on fire. Meanwhile, Northern Illinois hasn't scored more than 14 points in 4 weeks or 3 weeks. So I got to lean Toledo to cover 14.
NC Nick, what do you consider yourself a little bit of a MAC specialist as well? What are you doing here?
Sure, why not? Well, you know what? Toledo was sluggish last week at home against Western Michigan until the second half, where they outscored them 35-7. I think they ride that momentum into this week and also put up a big number on and definitely cover this.
Yeah, it's homecoming. How many people are going to be hitting the old glass bowl at the glass bowl?
Hello,
right?
Come on.
So that's a ritual in Ohio. Look, folks, that's side A. Hang on for side B. And we're back on the college football experience, the B side where things get loose. Go listen. What's up?
I don't think the glass bowl is a ritual in Ohio. I think the tin foil pipe, crack cocaine.
That's what Marv Alberts had in the hotel room. All right. I don't know. Marv is Marv still announcing? He's still announcing these days, right?
Gotta be somewhere. We need to bring him back.
NC Nick, Marv's still announcing?
I have no idea. Who watches NBA?
Not enough people named Marv in 2022.
That's right.
23.
The downfall of society.
Yeah, I really think.
Look,
Marv Cook. Remember Marv Cook?
College basketball got the old NBA on NBC theme song. Let's bring Marv
Round
Albert.
Ball Rock, they call it.
The greatest Marv was Marv from Home Alone.
Yeah, or Marv Levy. Marv Levy has some great one-liners about refs.
True.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, let's.
Who's
folks,
Marv from Home Alone?
Marv.
Yeah, that's the kid. That's the kid. He goes. The woman goes, Marv.
Wait, it's not the kid.
You're a fucking idiot. It's Kevin. Come on.
Okay,
all right,
I know
let's
that.
go.
Marv is one of the criminals. It's not. It's not Joe Pesci.
It's the other guy. Okay. He is the greatest Marv ever.
Oh man, I don't know what's happening. We're off the fucking rails here. Patty C. Speaking of you, Ball State heads into Kalamazoo. Take on the Broncos of Western Michigan. Western Michigan's laying 2.
Liquor pitchers.
Yeah, Waldo's. Get yourself over to Waldo's if you're going to this game. This series dates back to 1971. Western Michigan only has a 5-game lead, but I think it moves to 6. I'm laying the 2. Lance Taylor's been impressive. Ball State's a complete mess. I'll lay the 2. Patty C, what are you doing here?
Both teams have played some pretty difficult schedules up to this point. However, Ball State goes on the road to Western Michigan, wins it on the money line. Again, not exactly a ballsy play here, but they do win.
It is a ballsy play. Ball State. NC Nick, what are you doing here?
Yeah, my first inkling was to go with the team I thought was better in the preseason. That's Ball State. But you make good points, Colby. I think Western is better than I thought they have. And who doesn't want to celebrate with a couple liquor pitchers after a win? So give me the Broncos. I'm
saying get yourself over to Waldo's. South Florida's heading to Annapolis to take on the midshipmen of Navy. Despite these teams being in the same conference for the past decade, this is only the 4th ever matchup. I don't know how the fuck that. I think COVID must have had an issue there, but the midshipmen are laying 3.5. Kind of buying into Patty C's South Florida Bulls.
Yeah, they're getting there.
I'm taking the points, man. I don't know why Navy should be favored here. Give me South Florida on the road. It's not even going to be. If this was in like November, I could buy it. But I'm on the Bulls. Fuck with the Bulls, you get the horns, right? NC Nick, what are you doing here?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I don't have a strong lean on this game, but I think when it's more than a field goal, especially with the triple option team, I hate on the service academies. So give me USF.
I mean, let's be honest. Recently, they've been pretty damn impressive, beating Rice, keeping it pretty close against Alabama.
Yeah.
Byron Brown, a hidden stat here. The quarterback of USF, 8th in the nation in rushing attempts. In all positions.
That had to be the Alabama game where they're like, we can't pass. Let's just try.
I think it's every game.
Yeah.
I think that low key, if you have a mobile quarterback in that cheat code offense, you got to have him on your fantasy.
Bowling Green is heading to Atlanta to take on the Yellow Jackets of Georgia Tech. It's the second all-time matchup because Paul Johnson. Remember old Paul Johnson? Maybe someone should consider hiring him because the first time Paul Johnson beat Bowling Green 63-17 in 2018.
Woo!
Georgia Tech's laying 22. I can't do it. Give me Bowling Green at the points. Nick, what are you doing here?
I agree. It was a couple points too much. I've been impressed with Haynes King. I think Georgia Tech's playing pretty good ball. Knocking off Wake by 14 on the road. But Yeah, just a couple too many points. I think Georgia Tech probably wins. Yeah, I don't know what, like 31-16 or something. Give me the points.
Patty,
it's a lot of points. I agree with you guys. I'm impressed by Georgia Tech, but it's too many.
We got the Mike Leach Bowl. This is a perfect metaphor for college football and how unorganized it is. They're honoring Mike Leach in Lubbock, Texas, even though he wouldn't want to be honored by the University of Texas Tech. Houston and Texas Tech employ coaches that were part of the Mike Leach coaching tree
heavily.
However, Texas Tech's laying 8.5. Man, it's too many points. Give me the used car salesman and Dana Holgerson plus 8.5. NC Nick, what are you doing here in Lubbock?
I saw Shuck is out 6 to 8 weeks, but I think I'm gonna go Texas Tech one more time. They're currently 1-3. For a team that had some high hopes entering the season, so they're desperate. And the one Big 12 team Houston played was a 36-13 home loss to TCU, so they're not quite ready for Big 12 football. Let me go Texas Tech to win by double digits.
That is tough.
Didn't they play last year? What do you mean they're not ready for Big 12 football? Didn't they play last year? It was in overtime. Texas Tech won 33-30.
That was last year.
I don't want to overreact to Houston blowing out Sam Houston, but it was impressive. However, the rest of the season hasn't been that impressive for Houston. I will say that the Texas Tech hasn't been that impressive, although their losses have been kind of close. I mean, very close. Double overtime loss to Wyoming, 8-point loss to Oregon, 7-point loss to a pretty good West Virginia team. In all those losing games, should they be heavily favored over anyone? Is 8.5 points heavily favored? I'm going Houston.
I am too. Look, they lead the all-time series by 3. They're old Southwestern Conference rivals.
I don't have a great feel for this one though.
Oh, Rico Johnson in the chat saying "F you, Dundee."
Oh,
whoa, hey,
hey,
why?
I say it too. Fuck you, Colby.
We welcome that here, but I'm just curious. Why? He's a Red Raider fan. Let's talk a little college basketball national championship. What is it? 2002. Indiana heads to Maryland. This game is about. This is why I hate conference expansion. Yeah. It's like, wait, you give us gems like this? Indiana at Maryland.
Especially at Maryland. Indiana, like you said, has somewhat good fans. Maryland has terrible fans.
Either way, they play. How the fuck are they a part of the party? How does Washington State and Oregon State on the outside and Indiana and Maryland get the tickets to the event?
Yeah.
The fuck is going on here?
Well, Maryland is 4-0.
Oh, they suck ass. All right, look, Indiana is catching 14.5. I'll take the points. I don't think Maryland's that good.
These games have been crazy. 5 of the last 6 times these teams have played, it's been 1-score ball games. So I'm gonna take the points too.
I'm gonna lay them because Maryland has covered that spread every game they've played. Granted, I don't know if Michigan State is or Virginia or Charlotte or Towson is anywhere in Indiana's league, but still.
Probably
formerly at Bird Stadium or whatever it's called now.
Yeah.
Give me the Fighting Terrapins and those beautiful uniforms.
Those uniforms are nice upgrades there. The vacuum company Wagner is heading to Rutgers. Battle of New Jersey, second time ever. Last year, Rutgers won by 59. The spread is 56, but Wagner's got Steven Krajewski, the old UConn quarterback. Give me the vacuum company and the points. Patty C, what are you doing here?
That's a lot to ask a Rutgers. Give me Wagner.
Nick, what are you
Wagner's
doing?
won 2 in a row. A big win over Merrimack last week. I like them to keep it a little bit closer.
That was a huge win against Merrimack. Subscribe to the FCS College Football Experience. That was a gigantic spread too. Shout out to the vacuum company. All right, look, folks, before we get out, I mean, we have a lot of games to talk about, but I want to make sure we get paid here. I want to tell you that the College Football Experience is brought to you by, Game Time. All right. Buying tickets to your favorite events shouldn't be stressful. Game Time is the fast and easy way to buy tickets for all sports, music, comedy, and theater that is near you. With killer deals on last minute tickets and their best price guarantee, you can stop stressing over the tickets and start getting hyped for the fun that you'll be having at the very event you're going to. All right. So download the Game Time app, create an account, use that promo code CFBX for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Once again, create that account CFBX for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. We're also brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Look, Underdog Fantasy is a way to play alongside your favorite football team all season long. You can win up to 20 times the amount of money you enter in a single game by going 5 for 5. And look, they're giving away from now until October 4th. Underdog is matching 100% of the first deposits up to $500. And they're giving away $100,000 every Sunday. What are you doing, bozos? Look, they also got $2 million in prizes up for all season long tournaments. Once again, $100K every Sunday. Also, $10,000 to 10 different people every single week. New sweepstakes every single week of the NFL season. So watch along, make picks, and maybe make a little extra cash over on Underdog's mobile app or website, UnderdogFantasy.com. When you sign up with the promo code SGPN, Underdog will double your first deposit up to $500. Once again, that's Underdog Fantasy, promo code SGPN. All right, we are back on the college football experience. All right.
How about a shout out to Jenna Watson in the chat, rocking along with us idiots.
Yeah, she said the Sunoco Bowl. I used to have a rubber football from Sunoco. Remember that one?
I remember that.
I feel like that thing got some wear and tear, man. That thing, I had that for like those old rubber footballs where they're like team inspired and like random gas stations would do it.
Oh yeah,
some of the most underrated footballs. Those things would last like 10 years.
I had a Penn State one. Sandusky gave it to me himself.
Second mile, right? That's yeah. Right. I mean, guys, what's going on here in Austin, Texas? You know, the last time Lance Leipold went down to Austin, Texas, and took on Steve Sarkisian, he won. Now they're getting
a new day.
Now they're getting 16.5 points.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Red River shootouts next week. I am locking up Kansas plus 16.5 points. Hear me out here. Let me get this straight. Texas faced JT Daniels, a true launcher. Then they got week 2. They got Alabama. Jalen Milroe can't throw the forward pass, right? Then week 3, what'd they get? Wyoming's backup quarterback. Then what'd they get last week? Baylor's backup quarterback.
Dude, they have been whooping good teams.
But how many backup quarterbacks is that? Who's good? What are you talking about?
Rice is decent.
They just lost to South Florida.
Okay, but they're decent. Wyoming, I know they got covered that late, but they beat them by 21.
Didn't have their starting quarterback.
Okay. Alabama just beat Ole Miss. Just slammed Ole Miss. Alabama's a good fucking foot. What, do I have to defend?
Alabama does not belong in the top 10.
An impressive win against Alabama. And then body slam Baylor on the road. Texas is
Baylor's
good.
Backup quarterback.
I don't care. The team isn't completely
block battle me on this then.
16.5.
My point is that Jalen Daniels is going to fuck up that defense. I watched that whole Wyoming game. Yeah, there we go. Let's fucking go.
You know, because Kansas struggled with Nevada, who sucks ass, right? And then needed a lot of time to pull away from BYU.
Kansas struggled with Nevada the same way Texas struggled with Wyoming.
It's fair.
Fuck you, buddy. Let's go. Look at the Jayhawks. We got a lock battle. And look, I think the thing you're not talking about is Kansas's defense has been much improved this year as opposed to last year. 2 defensive touchdowns last week. They did a great job on Illinois too. They are much, much better than the defense from a season ago. Jalen Daniels is going to cause fits in this game. And like I said, it's a look ahead spot. They're thinking Red River shootout. NC Nick, what are you doing here?
Well, the Texas of a few years ago, I mean, this is a game where they would drop. I think they are better this year. I think they are legit this year. I think they win, but it's a couple too many points. I think Kansas is a good quality, well-coached team. And this is going to be a game into the fourth quarter.
I'm going to go ahead and say this. Texas has not faced a good offense all year. Alabama is completely one-dimensional.
That's completely fair.
Baylor is one-dimensional. Wyoming we love, but let's be honest. Wyoming's offense, NC Nick, we witnessed this offense last week. All right, they won on a block kick and a fumble return for a touchdown, essentially. Right? They have played 0 good offenses. Lance Leipold is going to give that defense a very hard time.
A decent point.
I'm on Colby's side here, but I'm staying away from the lock.
Kansas, number 22 defense yardage wise in the country.
Telling you, they're much improved.
Paul Bucher says I'm going to eat it on this one. I hope so. Fuck Texas. Horns down all the way. I just think, hey, if you're struggling against this shit, Look,
you hope you're going to lose your bet.
Yes, I mean I'm probably not going to bet this just because whatever. I'm locking Texas.
I see your point.
I hate Texas. Okay,
but I don't think they were super impressive. Like against Alabama, yes. I don't think against Rice and Wyoming they were that impressive.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think they ended up putting it on Rice, and I think in the fourth quarter, I don't think they were very impressive against Wyoming. That said, I think Kansas was super unimpressive against Nevada,
but they were impressive
and not that impressive against BYU either. But BYU is a pretty good team.
I mean, they covered
16.5 seems coverable, but with the defense that good, maybe you're right. Maybe they keep it closer. I'm not pulling my lock though. Fuck you. Just
fuck you.
Let's go. For the fans.
All right.
I'm rooting for Kansas.
Old Dominion. It's fresh off a nice 10-9 win over Texas A&M Commerce. It's heading into Huntington, West Virginia, where Marshall did an amazing drone video that got them fined. Shout out to Marshall. Breaking the law. Look, Marshall's laying 14.5 points. Too many. 14.5. Dude, this is a perfect letdown spot. They just beat a Power 5 at the Joan. There's no way Old Dominion's coming. Dude, I'm telling you, Old Dominion. This is almost lockworthy. 14 points in the Monarchs. This is almost, because I'm telling you, it's just a great spot.
It is, because Marshall just beat a couple, rivals in ECU and Virginia Tech. Last year they won this game 12-0. So I think 14 points is too much. I think Marshall is, kind of sluggish the first half, and they probably win by 10 or so. Give me the points.
I couldn't disagree more.
Let's go.
ODU just lost.
No, they didn't. They just won.
10-9.
Beat Texas A&M Commerce by 1.
But what they do the week before?
Well, hey, it doesn't matter what they did the week before. Texas A&M Commerce lost to Sac State by 28. To UC Davis by 38.
They're breaking in a brand new coach. They're getting better each and every week of the season.
Dude, okay. They've had a couple decent performances.
What about ODU against Wake?
That was impressive until they blew it. Until Wake decided to step on.
I'm not calling for them to win.
Meanwhile, Wake isn't, even though they're 3-1, not super impressive. They just got throttled. They beat Elon. Wake beat Elon. Vanderbilt.
Elon's an FCS playoff team.
Why are we talking about Wake Forest?
Why are we talking about?
What are you talking about? Elon and JMU would be like a close game right now.
This guy's trying to flex the Wake Forest and the Mitch Griffiths angle on me as a great performance, a losing performance for ODU. Meanwhile, Marshall's been kicking everyone's fucking ass.
No, not Reese Poffenberger. They squeaked by Reese Poffenberger, who's a worse CAA team.
FCS playoff team.
No, they weren't.
Do you know how? You guys know how ODU won last week? Texas A&M Commerce scored a touchdown under 30 seconds. They decided to go for 2 in the win, but the pass was the conversion failed. So they won 10-9. But I'm on Colby's side. I think they keep it close at least.
How about this? They have a common opponent. They both play Virginia Tech. Old Dominion lost by 19
was at Virginia Tech.
19 to Old Dominion. Virginia Tech beat Old Dominion by 19. They lost to Marshall by 7.
Talk you're doing.
Cheap.
There.
It's fucking plain
One's
stats.
in Blacksburg. One's in Huntington.
I don't feel great about this.
And this
Marshall's
game's in
definitely
Huntington.
the better
What
team.
happened when Virginia Tech went to Old Dominion last year? They lost. Fuck you. You're wrong. All right.
Marshall will whoop Old Dominion's ass, and we're gonna clip this and we're gonna put it on
all day.
Twitter.
Let's go. Get the clip going. You want to lock this thing? All right, pussy. Let's go.
Let's go. Lock battle,
right.
you fucking asshole.
Yeah.
Now we got a problem.
Where the hell is this drop? We're going. Huntington, West Virginia. Locking it up. ODU plus 14.
I'm gonna shotgun a beer in advance because I'm so confident.
You're a fool.
And I just want to shotgun.
ODU's got things going the right direction.
You guys keep going at it. I'm just sitting here enjoying my beverage.
I know. Illinois heading to Purdue. The Ryan Walters Bowl. I feel like they call this shit something else too. Don't they have they play for something?
Such a whack rivalry. Come on,
they play for the Purdue Cannon. How can you have it with one of the school's team names? Anyway, the series dates back to 1890. Purdue only has a 2-game lead.
Maybe it's a decent rivalry.
Yeah. Okay. Purdue's laying 1. Wrong team favorite. Illinois is better. Bielema gets it done. Nick?
Yeah.
I'm going to go with the tougher team with the more proven coach. Purdue is 0-3 straight up at home and 0-3 ATS at home. Make it 0-4 and 0-4. Give me the Illini.
Patty C?
Illini all day.
Are you going to shotgun that thing?
Eventually. We'll get to him.
Oh, okay.
The cannon trophy.
Next up, we're going to Vegas.
Look at that little pocket cannon.
What the hell is that?
That's what my nickname for my junk is. The pocket cannon.
You're having a hard time over there. Try not to spill it all over your face this time. All right. Look, Hawaii is heading to Vegas to take on UNLV. UNLV did cash in for me, and I am on the under. This is where my Rainbow Warriors need to show up. And one thing I've learned once we had multiple Hawaii people on the podcast in the offseason is apparently, what do they call this? The 8th island, right? Don't they call it the 8th island, Las Vegas?
Oh,
right. And I was just out in Vegas, and guess what? I went to a Hawaiian restaurant, and damn it, it was packed. Now I don't know if they're all Hawaiian, but
they serve spam.
I'm gonna go. Yeah, they did. They had that shit on the side, and I'm gonna go ahead and say Vegas is.
Oh, Moneyline Mac's gonna be there
At the game.
Yeah,
really.
That's what he says.
Oh hell yeah, let's go.
I learned why spam is like so beloved. It's there, and then like in I want to say like Vietnam too is like a beloved dish. Is because the American soldiers brought it over, right? And it was like a delicacy there. So respect them for loving their spam.
Dude, there's a place called Ruts in like Venice.
Yeah.
They do Hawaiian breakfast. Fucking phenomenal. They put that spam somewhere in that shit. I taste it, but somewhere there. I don't know. I don't see it.
Every time you eat Hawaiian and you eat that spam, you're giving love to the American soldiers and the good people of Hawaii.
11 points is too much. You got to take the Rainbow Warriors, right?
Yeah. They're playing better ball.
Nick, what are you doing here on the in Vegas?
Agreed. I'm kind of buying into UNLV, but Hawaii will have a lot of fans here. I think it's too many points. UNLV wins. Hawaii covers.
Braden Shager
bombs
easily leading the nation in passing attempts. 208. Davis Brin in second place with 181. Hawaii flinging that ball all over the field.
Shager bombs go. They're pretty prevalent in Vegas, so
Yeah. Well, this is the closest to a Shager bomb I got. So here we go. Here's a shotgun.
Folks, he still spilled. Look at that. Look at that. YouTube.com/the college experience.
Past his prime.
Yeah,
he's over the hill.
It's not that bad.
He peaked at 22.
Yeah.
All right.
Which is a sad state of affairs.
Let's go to the Liberty Bowl, where Boise State is taking on Memphis. This game's awesome. Why not give us this on Thursday night?
Yeah.
This game's fantastic. Boise State and the Broncos catching 3.5 on the road. Whoa. Ryan Silverhairs catching is favored by 3.5. Wrong team favored. I think we should consider locking this up. Boise State plus the points. Let's ride. Patty C, what are you doing here?
Has not Memphis been playing some decent football lately? I'm seeing them on a short list of potential.
They don't have a
Year's
win against a team with a winning record.
They kept it close against Missouri, who beat Kansas State.
So did Middle Tennessee. Are we ready to say Middle Tennessee deserves a New Year's Six?
Don't take a big shit on those Memphis Tigers.
Oh.
But yeah, I will ride with you. Boise to cover 3.5 on the road.
Nick,
I'm on Boise as well. Fade Silver Chest.
Yeah.
Can we just come up with a name? Let's give them a name. Silver.
I kind of like changing it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun.
Silver.
Adam Silver's not worth. No. Look, New Mexico heading to Laramie. Wyoming's laying 14 points. That's too much. Wyoming. This series goes back to 1930. Remember a couple years ago, I took New Mexico on the money line as a 17-point dog. It hit because they play that Rocky Long defense. They're going to limit the Wyoming passing opportunities. They'll stack the box. 14 is too much in a cool rivalry that Wyoming leads by 3 games. I will take Wyoming to win, but New Mexico's covering the 14. Patty C, what are you doing here?
It's a lot of points, but I am going to lean Wyoming. I think they're in for a special year. Like you said, this is Craig Bohl's finest year. They're getting Fresno win
next week.
So
look ahead spot.
Maybe a look ahead spot, but at home in Laramie, give me Wyoming.
Nick, what are you doing here?
I'm with Dundee again. I think New Mexico's won 2 out of 3, including the last one in Laramie. I think they can at least keep it close enough for the cover.
You got to be able to see through it, man. All right,
he's the Matrix.
He's doing bombs.
Well, you guys were just in Laramie. I guess it was like a sandwiched in between an epic win against App State.
Yeah,
and
you doubted us on App State. We said Wyoming was going to win that. You said App State.
true. That was a miraculous win.
No, that's how Wyoming wins every game.
It's true.
I'm serious. Like, I'm not trying to be funny. That's really how they win all their games. It's like wacky as shit.
I will say next week is one of 2 games. I guess they could take an L somewhere along the way, have a hiccup. But if they could beat Fresno, and then they also get Air Force at home, right?
Yeah.
Wyoming might be the group of 5 team that makes the New Year's Six this year.
The Fresno game's huge.
Yeah.
Missouri is heading to Nashville to take on Vanderbilt. Nobody goes into the construction zone without their hard hat. All right. This rivalry goes back to 1895, if you want to call it a rivalry. They've only played 15 times, but one of them was in 1895. Missouri has a 6-game lead. The Missouri Tigers are laying 13 points. Give me Vandy in the points. Nick?
Yeah, I really didn't know what to do with this one. I mean, Vandy is trash, but when Missouri, other than the Kansas State game, they really haven't been all that impressive. Middle Tennessee State covered. Memphis at least pushed. At the end of the day, I'm going to take the points with the home team, but I'm staying far away from this game.
You guys are fucking idiots. Missouri will cover 13. They're 4-0. Vanderbilt.
Was it the Middle Tennessee game they didn't cover? Was it the South Dakota game they didn't cover? Was it the Memphis game where they pushed?
Where does Vanderbilt stack up in the compared to Middle Tennessee?
I think they're better than Middle. I know they're on the same level as Middle Tennessee.
Yeah, they're probably a little bit better than Middle Tennessee, worse than Memphis. I was expecting more from Vandy this year.
You're right, though. Missouri hasn't really been blowing teams. All right. But Max McClellan.
That's why you take them, though.
Vandy Owen.
Because there's no way they continue. Vegas keeps adjusting the line lower. That's why you take Vandy this week.
That's true. All right.
Regression.
All right. I'll roll with you guys. I'll go Vandy.
All right. We got the Magnolia Bowl. Let's talk about this one because this is one of the better games of the day. LSU heading into Oxford, Mississippi, where they lost the last time they played. This rivalry goes back to 1894. LSU does have a 22-game lead in this rivalry. LSU's laying 2.5. It seems chalky, but I'm laying the 2.5. It seems very chalky. This game reeks. There's Courtney Love to this game.
Yeah, but I just don't think Ole Miss is that good. I don't think they've been that good for a couple years in a row now.
Yeah. I don't think Lane Kiffin's that good.
Yeah.
And I will lay the 2.5 with LSU. Am I a little weary of the smell? I am.
I agree with that. I think Colby and I have agreed with the last 10 games or something. How about you, Patty? What you got?
Oh, we need to come up with a name for you two together. Nick and I are the
we're the
Showboat buddies.
The Showboat buddies.
We're the Bash Brothers. I'm McGuire. He's Canseco.
All right, what are we?
He's got a car wash in Vegas.
We're the car wash buddies.
What are we? No. What the fuck? Guys, I mean, are we in unison here?
I'm on LSU.
I feel like we should lock it, but
that number is what again?
2.5.
2.5. Yeah, I'm on LSU.
It smells though. Shouldn't this line be like 7?
I feel like Ole Miss has one of the better offenses in the country. I need to pull that up, but
that's all from the Mercer game.
Probably.
Don't look into that. Oregon is heading to the farm to take on Stanford. Stanford's catching 27.5 points on the farm. Series dates back to 1900. Thank you, TV execs, for destroying a fucking 123-year-old rivalry. Anyway, Stanford has a 15-game lead, and believe it or not,
this is almost lock-worthy to me.
They're 5-5 in their last 10 against Oregon,
but they've been really bad so far.
They almost knocked off Arizona last week. Catching 27.5. Give me the Cardinal on the farm. Nick, what are you doing here?
We're lockstep here. I'm gonna take the points too. I think it's hard for Oregon to get up for this game after all that excitement over the Oregon-Colorado game. And Stanford's at home. I think they have a good coach. I think they can cover this. It was only an 18-point game in Eugene last year.
Yeah, and I think if Stanford can get up for a couple games this year, that they hold a grudge over kind of being left out of the whole Big Ten equation. This probably is one of them. So I think they get up and look, 6:30 kick.
Yeah,
I think Stanford gets it done. 27 they cover.
Coastal Carolina is heading to Statesboro, Georgia, on a midnight train to Georgia, where the series dates back to 2006. Georgia Southern has a 5-4 all-time lead. This rivalry is good. Southern's laying 6.5. I will lay the 6.5, and I'll be honest. Thought about locking this. Nick, what are you doing here?
No, you know what? I mean, as good as the Georgia Southern offense looks right now, I don't think Coastal is as bad as last week, and I think they bounce back and at least keep this game close. So give me Big Bird on the road with the points.
There's some bangers in the Sun Belt this week. You got the South Alabama JMU game. You got this. You also have Troy, Georgia State, which we're about to talk about. Patty C, what are you doing here?
Mentioning Georgia State, they are potentially a hidden, really great team this year. The win against Jacksonville State looking better for Coastal Carolina, only a 14-point loss at UCLA for Coastal Carolina. I think their losses are not as bad as people think. I got to lean Coastal Carolina here too.
Idiots. Okay.
Finally, I disagree with Colby. Good.
I'll reap the benefits. Let's talk about Troy, Georgia State, because that series dates back to 2013 because Georgia State just started their football program. Troy has a 5-4 all-time lead. Georgia State's laying 1. You know what? I'm going to ride Georgia State -1. I think there's something about the Granger in this offense. I'll lay the 1 at the place where Willie McGee used to hit dingers.
Willie McGee, he was on the Cardinals.
Yeah, he was on the road.
Gotcha.
Right?
He probably hit 1 or 2.
Yeah, come on. He didn't hit a lot of dingers in his day, though.
He wasn't a power hitter to begin with.
But maybe
everyone hit
maybe
dingers.
inside the ballpark.
What are you gonna say, Ozzie Smith next time too?
He had fucking jets.
It was the launching pad. Everyone got a dinger.
How about the stadium where Ozzie Smith did flips?
All right, how about this? Jack Clark definitely went deep there.
Jack Clark did.
Jack Clark fucking went deep there.
Primetime might have gone deep there a couple times.
For sure. Georgia State, Nick, what are you doing here in this matchup?
I think I'm gonna agree with you. I think Georgia State, they're gonna put some points, and I'm not sure Troy can hang in a shootout type game. So give me the home team.
Patty?
I'm all over Georgia State. I wasn't that impressed with Troy against JMU. And look, Georgia State at home, got to give it 1.5 easy.
Of course, 4 weeks ago, before the season started, we would have jumped over Troy in this game in a heartbeat.
Yeah, it's pretty
so
amazing.
Maybe we're fools
that Georgia State has made this turnaround this year.
Yeah,
we'll see
Shout
if
out
they
to Sean
can
Elliott.
continue.
All right,
yeah,
the one with 2 kidneys. Okay, next up. Actually, wait, before we get out of here, I want to tell you that the college football experience is brought to you by VEASAN. Yes, sign up now. Save 40% off the football season special that they offer when you use the promo code SGP. That's VEASAN.com/subscribe, promo code SGP. Look, Stacking the Money and Real Money Kramer, Sports Gambling Podcast. They're involved in a contest going head to head with other VEASAN shows. Remember, SGP, you can catch them live on VEASAN every Friday night, 9 p.m. Pacific. They're going head to head with other VEASAN shows to see who sells the most subscriptions. The winning show gets $1,000 Super Bowl future. The best part is Sean and Ryan are going to cut you in on the prize if they win. All right. So step 1, go to VEASAN.com/subscribe. Use that promo code SGP to sign up. Step 2 is go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/VEASAN to subscribe. To submit your proof of purchase. And look, if they win, you'll get to vote on what team to use on the $1,000 Super Bowl future. Essentially, and if it hits, you'll get an equal piece of the action. So go to VEASAN.com/subscribe. Use that promo code SGP. Then sportsgamblingpodcast.com/VEASAN to submit. We're also brought to you by Hall of Fame Bets. Win bigger by betting smarter this NFL season with Hall of Fame Bets, the sports betting analytics platform for parlays, player props, and game lines. And look, research every NFL, NBA, MLB, and soccer bet with historical stats and data. Stop betting in the dark and join over 30,000 users researching Hall of Fame Bets to craft more intelligent, data-driven parlays. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app or visit hofbets.com. Use that promo code SGPN to get 50% off your first month today. Start researching, start winning with Hall of Fame Bets. All right, we are back and ready to go. To close this thing out, we got a few more games. Utah Tech, aka Dixie State, is heading to Fort Collins. Take on the Rams of Colorado State.
Hey, rabbit, do you know how to rabbit? Yeah.
We locked up Colorado State last week. Colorado State's laying 23. I'll lock it up again. Colorado State's going to beat the piss out of Utah Tech. This is the 3rd straight road game for Utah Tech. This is going to get ugly. Lay it. Patty C?
It's a lot of points, but Colorado State has looked pretty.
Do you know what
good.
Utah Tech did last week against Missouri State?
What was the score there?
Missouri State beat them 59-14.
All right.
I'm surprised this is only 23. I'm with you. Let's lock it.
Let's go.
Colorado State's rolling.
Triple lock?
Throw me in the equation.
Yeah, let's go. He's finally buying into these Rams. Let's go. All right.
I was never, thinking that it would take very long for Colorado.
You're a
State.
hater. You're a hater.
Thought year one,
Don't try
I knew
coming
it.
around now.
Yeah.
You're a hater.
No.
How's your Nevada Wolfpack doing?
They're struggling. Look, I was never high on Nevada either. I just thought you guys were so high on Colorado year one last year. I was like, or Colorado State. I was like, you guys are jumping the gun. You're too excited about Norvell's presence there. I know he's a good coach. And
I think they're still contenders in the Mountain West this year.
Yeah, they're a good team. And I am a Norvell fan. I like Colorado State too. Fuck you both.
Iowa State and Matt Campbell. Series goes back to 1928. They're heading to Norman, Oklahoma. You know, Iowa State's 7-79-2 all time against Oklahoma. However, Matt Campbell has only been their head coach.
A big however here.
Matt Campbell's only been their head coach for like 7 years. And damn if he doesn't, he's 2-6, 8 years.
Yeah.
So
he's responsible.
Here's what's crazy.
A third of the wins in that series.
Not only that, 6 of the 8 games have been decided by 10 points or less, including a 2-point conversion game where he went for the win in Norman. That is why. And you got to love it. I don't think Iowa State's that good this year. However, you got to love the fact that the Red River Shootout's on deck. So when you tell me I'm getting 20 and a half, shop around, give me the Cyclones. Cause I was not impressed with Oklahoma last week. I came away less impressed with Oklahoma last week than I did coming into the fucking game they played against Cincinnati. So
we weren't watching the same game.
I will take the points all day here. Nick?
Again, I'm with you. I think, talk about some ATS regression. Currently, Oklahoma's 4-0 ATS, but they only covered the SMU game by a point, only covered the Cincy game by a point. I think Iowa State keeps it close enough. I think maybe they found something in Rocco Brecht, that quarterback who threw for 348 and 3 touchdowns against Oklahoma State last week. Give me the Cyclones.
Yeah.
To cover, not money line.
Yeah. Jenna in the chat saying that song was suspect. 100%.
It's the cheesiness of it, which makes it.
Hey, I only play it because we don't get sued by them. All right, everyone else sues the shit out of me on this. So
nobody wants to claim that they made that song.
What are you doing here, Patty?
Look, Iowa, I'll give them credit for keeping the game close against, or Iowa State rather, keeping against Iowa, but that's not impressive. They have not seen an offense anywhere in the stratosphere of Oklahoma's. 20 points. Lock it up. Oklahoma will blow the fucking doors off of Iowa State's defense.
I don't think Oklahoma's offense is that good.
I don't understand what you were watching last week.
They only scored 20 points.
They stalled out. Like they kept.
Patty C's lock it up.
That no huddle shit is too much for defenses to handle. How do you even prepare for that as a defense? I don't understand how you defend that when there's that complex of a scheme being run at a pace that you can't fucking alter your defense and make defensive calls on the fly. You're a victim. You just get victimized. And that's what happened to Cincinnati, despite only giving up 20 last week.
Abilene Christian's heading into North Texas. North Texas is laying 9.5, 10 points. Shop around. They have played once before and North Texas won by 20. However, this North Texas team is ass. So I will take, I don't know. Abilene Christian just lost 52-17.
North Texas coming off a bye.
I'll take North Texas minus the points. Nick, what are you doing here?
How many points is it again?
10 or 9.5. I see both. Yeah.
I'll lay it.
Yeah, I'll lay it too.
The East Carolina Pirates are heading into Houston, Texas, take on the Rice Owls, where ECU finds himself as a dog. Who are these odds makers? This is
one moment he loves Mike Houston, one moment he hates him, and he's back in love.
I can't keep it straight.
I mean, it doesn't matter who's
just because they beat Gardner Webb.
No, I mean Gardner Webb. First off, FCS playoff team a year ago, but East Carolina. they don't lose to private school pussies. All right. In any realm of life. All right. So we're going to go down there to the little stadium that they had the Super Bowl back in 1969 or some shit like that. And we're going to celebrate just like Broadway Joe. All right. We're going to celebrate because we're going in there and beating JT Dana. I don't give a shit how old he is. All right. He might be Broadway Joe's son. All right.
He's a little banged up, but I think he's going to play. Yeah,
well, look, he's been banged up his whole life. All right. And ECU's winning this fucking game at that filthy stadium there.
Let me tell you this. Back end of ECU's schedule, I think 4-2 is what ECU is looking at. So if they can get this W here, they're probably going bowling.
Write it.
It's a hard Rice has been decent and it's on the road. Long trip.
Buddy, write it.
You don't just go down to Rice and eat. All right.
See what I did there? Because when you're at East Carolina, you go for it every time. Or you don't coach at East Carolina. You don't come to East Carolina. You don't play at East Carolina with a weak heart. Write it.
Patty?
Rice did beat Houston, who looked pretty damn good last week.
That's a rivalry, in the city rivalry.
It's only a 3.5 point spread on the road. Still, I'm a believer in Mike Houston and ECU. So I will
there you go.
Take the points.
You know Rice is my team in the American. All right. Conference game on the road. I'm going with the home team.
You're a fool. You're an absolute fool.
Never did I think I'd see a Rice guy.
Private school pussies. They're gonna get beat down.
They're the Duke of Texas.
That's true. It makes sense.
Texas State is heading into Hattiesburg. Who is Texas State? Patty C's Nevada squad was up like I feel like 17-0 or 21-0 in this game, and then Texas State at half. Texas State was getting blanked. Then they said, it's time to play football. They scored 35 in a row.
This is the lock of the week. This is the lock of the week.
Texas State is laying 5.5.
Southern Miss looks like ass.
I'm taking Southern Miss.
What?
This line makes no sense. Hattiesburg is always lit. Give me Southern Miss plus 5.5 because this line makes no sense. It should be a 14 point spread.
You smell that smell and you're repulsed by it. That's what makes you sus, right? And that's what makes me a man. I dive into the stink. Okay.
Oh man.
Give me Texas State all day.
Southern Miss.
I'm towed all the way to your house, and all you got for me is light beer.
Southern Miss is going to get this done, Nick. Right?
One more time, Southern Miss. I'm going to give you one more chance before I put you on the auto fade list. So give me the Golden Eagles.
Yowzers.
South Carolina is heading into Knoxville, Tennessee. Remember, they beat the shit out of Tennessee in Columbia last year. Can revenge happen in Knoxville? Tennessee's laid 12.5.
Too many.
I say too many too. Give me South Carolina plus the points.
I'm with you guys. I kind of went back and forth on this, but I think Tennessee wins by 10.
Patty?
Tennessee is questionable. What they didn't rock UTSA, but whatever they lost.
They didn't even have Captain Harris.
Money line South Carolina.
I think they're live too.
Yeah,
I think they're live. College game days here. Durham, North Carolina. NC Nick, go to this thing. All right. Talk shit about Lee Corso. Notre Dame is down is favored by 5.5 in Durham. I'm locking up Notre Dame minus 5.5. I think everyone is on Duke.
Let's hear it. Let's hear your rebuttal, Nick.
I think this week they will be able to count correctly.
Boom.
All right.
Lock battle, motherfucker. Let's do it. Give me the points.
Go.
Give me Duke on the money line. Come on.
Oh.
All right. We got another lock battle in one corner. NC Nick's with the Blue Devils. And Pick Dundee rolling with the Fighting Irish.
Rare words.
They're gonna be able to push them around on the line of scrimmage a little bit.
Duke's been playing pretty damn well, but I do agree with you there.
You locking it?
They haven't played the likes of Notre Dame yet. I'm not locking it, but I do think Notre Dame will cover.
Yeah, lay the 5.5.
They've played Clemson, Patty C. That's the likes of Notre Dame.
Notre Dame slapped them around, I feel like, the last time they played. And Clemson this year isn't Clemson of yore. I will say this. The first time it's college game day in Duke history, is that going to be a factor? Primetime kick,
Cherokee Park's going to be there as their guest.
Christian Leitner, Cherokee Park.
Eric Meek is going to make an appearance.
Michigan State. Mel Tucker's gone. He's on a midnight phone call to Georgia. All right. Look, they're heading to Iowa City. Everyone's calling out Kirk Ferentz. Everyone's calling out Brian Ferentz. Why? They put up a solid 76 yards of offense. That's 25 more than I thought they would get. All right. Iowa's laying 12 against Sparty. I say lay it. I almost locked this. I could be talked into a lock here because I see this being a 17-0 game. And I think 12 is disrespectful. NC Nick, what are you doing here in Iowa City?
Michigan State is another team on my auto fade list. Definitely going Iowa in a bounce back spot here.
Should we lock this? We should lock this.
They win 17-3.
I will not lock Iowa fucking giving 13 points to anyone.
Iowa City.
I tend to agree with Patty.
No. No one goes into Iowa City and gets the dub.
Well, we're not saying that.
Yeah.
No, but I'm saying like
17-3 is too
Iowa
close.
They covered me in the Cyhawk battle.
Yeah, but
what was that? 8-point spread, 7-point spread?
I think it was less than a touchdown, wasn't it?
I don't remember.
Will Michigan State score is the question, and that is the question. That
I told you I got this one 17-0 final. Iowa covers.
Is there any tragic magic? Mel Tucker officially fired today. Okay.
No
tragic magic. They do suck.
Iowa was favored by 3.5 against Iowa State. That's why I also locked up Iowa.
What'd they win by though?
They won 20-13.
That's right. Iowa State got a late score. That was in Ames. That wasn't even in Iowa City.
So they're saying a 27-13 game. Does that sound about right? I think that's too many points for Michigan State. But I also think it's too many points for Iowa. Lock the under.
No, how much you want to bet on this? I'll bet you on this one. Iowa. Look, at 12, there's a strong chance it could be 13-0. There's a strong chance it could be 14-0.
27-13.
You know, Iowa is scoring at least 2 touchdowns, probably on the defensive side of the ball, and probably with some field goals and some awesome punting. They are covering this 12, and I love them. They are my favorite team in college football, and I know them. All right.
I agree. I think they covered, but I'm not gonna lock it.
I'm not.
Patty C's point, I don't feel comfortable locking that big of a number with Iowa.
And look, Brian Ferentz, keep being you. Don't listen to these fucking idiots. All right. Let me ask you this. Are these idiots coaching a 10-win team every year? No, they're not. All right. So shut the fuck up and keep running the ball. All right.
I don't even think they cover. Give me Michigan State to cover.
Oh, you're a fool. Biff Poggi. He's no fool. He's coming into Dallas, Texas to take on SMU. SMU's laying 24 points. It's too much. Biff Poggi. How about that? Florida thought they were going to push around Biff. Nope. Biff with the cover. Because that's what he does. NC Nick's been disrespectful of Biff Poggi all year. They're covering in Fort Worth or in Dallas. What are you doing?
This is the week where I jump on board because Charlotte covered 24.5 against Maryland pretty easily. They covered 28 against Florida pretty easily. I think this is too many points. Who wants to lock up the 49ers with me?
I'm tempted.
No, I'd lock up Iowa before the 49ers.
I'm tempted because I think Florida and Maryland are about on SMU's level, if I had to guess. And
I think they might be better.
Yeah, they could be better.
I think both are better.
Charlotte kept it within 18 against Maryland, kept it within 15 against Florida.
Showboat buddies.
Showboat buddies.
Let's go.
Oh, look at this. We got Showboat buddies are back.
Can we have a dance? We got to make a dance.
Intercontinental champs.
I just want to give you some floppage.
All right, let's go to Fort Worth. We were in Dallas. Let's go to Fort Worth, where West Virginia is getting 13 points.
Morgantown, you'll always be home sweet.
This ain't in Morgantown.
Good old Morgantown.
Morgantown, WP. They're covering this 13, man. I've been saying this all offseason. West Virginia was way better than what everyone was saying. They suck. Look, I locked up Texas Tech last week. I was one of those idiots, right? But I was high on Neil Brown being on the over because I think this team's a lot better than what people think. Dub V covers the 13. I think they're live on the fucking money line. NC Nick, what are you doing here?
I was surprised to see this big of a line, and I'll be the first to admit I was wrong on West Virginia the last 2 weeks.
Lock this.
We know about their home and away splits, so I'm not sure if I'm gonna lock it, but I'm definitely taking the points.
Well, look, you've gone this way. Why don't you go a little further?
What?
Because check this out.
Go ahead.
West Virginia. Remember last season? Last season, that was a close game. TCU won. Well, guess what? That was the first win out of 5 games against Dub V. Dub V has TCU's number. Even last year, TCU almost lost that fucking game. West Virginia's covering this.
All right, fuck it. Let's roll. I'm with you.
Lock it up.
Hold your horses. They beat Pitt, who's 1-3. They beat Texas Tech by 7, who's 1-3.
TCU lost to Colorado, who you said is terrible.
Colorado's okay, but TCU, the first game back off the national, Colorado was hyped. In the meantime, they have whooped Houston and SMU pretty
They don't
thoroughly.
have winning records.
SMU does, right? No, is it at 2-2? SMU they don't have a winning record because TCU whooped them. It is just a point or two too many. These are 2 teams that I think are better than anyone is giving them credit for.
Lock it up.
It's a pretty good team. I'm not locking it up, but I will take West Virginia.
Appalachian State's heading to Monroe, Louisiana. App State's laying 13.5. 14. I'll lay the points with that, but it's hard to fade a Bowden.
Tough travel advantage too, coming back from Laramie. Laramie to Monroe. A lot of travel there, but I do think App is a better team, and given the fact they lost last week, they should be laser focused on the Warhawks. So I'll lay the points.
App's a good team. You know what? I expect App to win out the rest of the way until they face JMU on November. What is that? 18th.
I see Nick's going
to be there.
You will be there, and you know who might also
connect.
If JMU gets their fucking shit together, and so does App State, College Game Day could be there because there's not a loaded slate on November 18th. Ooh. We'll see, but I'm going to take App State to cover this.
Yeah. I'm actually going to take them to cover as well. San Diego State's heading to Colorado Springs, take the Air Force Falcons, which apparently, Troy Calhoun, not a big fan of Pick Dundee. Telling him bullshit all off season. I'm joking. Love you, Troy. Love what you're doing. Love how you're not passing the ball and you're making the refs have to throw the flag, and they're not, because those refs know that America was built on this fucking offense. All right. This is a game that's interesting because it goes back to 1980. Air Force only has a 1-game lead, but San Diego State, they're moving to the soft ass cha offense. It's not going to happen. Air Force is laying 10. Lay the 10. I'm back on board with the service academies. Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah.
Patty.
Yeah, I'm on Air Force to cover 10.5. Who says I want to get soft and then follows through and just get soft? I guess it was pretty impressive to keep it within 3 against Boise. That was at the snapper. They got to go to Falcon Stadium this week. 10.5, easy.
10.5. NC Nick, what are you doing here?
Well, my first reaction was to take the points in a game that's usually pretty close and low scoring. But Arizona State has now won 8 games in a row. Air Force. What would I say?
Arizona State.
Arizona State. Jeez, it's getting late. Air Force has now won 8 straight games, all by double digits. So I'll ride the Falcons again.
The fuck is that?
Arizona State.
Pitt is heading to Blacksburg, Virginia. You want to talk about the shittiest game of the whole week?
This game sucks.
This game does suck.
This is what's worse, BC, Virginia, or Pitt, Virginia Tech?
I think BC, Virginia is worse.
I do too.
Lane is much cooler than
that's true.
BC Stadium.
Pitt's laying 2.5. They're
At
old
least
Big
these
East
teams
rivals.
Wish they were good.
Yeah, they're old Big East. The series is all tied up. Pitt wins 13-10. Patty C, what are you doing here?
Yeah, I'll take Pitt. Virginia Tech sucks.
I guess I'm on Pitt too.
We're all upset to pick that game.
Hey, Brett Pry, does his seat get really cooking after this? Huh? Because look, they got Florida State, Wake, Syracuse, Louisville. After that, they could be 1-7. That is not a welcome number.
I thought you were
in
buying
Blacksburg.
in.
I'm out. I'm out on Brent Pry. I'm tuning out.
Alabama's heading into Stark Vegas. Take on The Mississippi State Bulldogs, who for some reason decided to ditch the air raid offense in a pivotal year where everybody that was affiliated with the air raid was coming back for their senior season. Alabama's laid 14.5. This philosophy of moving everybody.
You got to do it at some point, though. Anytime you go with an extreme system,
that's why Zach Arnett will be the defensive coordinator at New Mexico next year, because he's going to get fired. Because sometimes you do it year one. You do it year one. You overhaul. Oh, that's true. He's an interim. He's an interim hire. Yeah, you're an idiot, Zach Arnett. I will lay the 14.5. They're baiting you to take the 14.5 with Mississippi State. 31-7 final. Bama gets it done. Patty.
It stinks to
we should lock Bama.
Yeah, fuck it. I'll lock Bama.
Yeah. Nick, you on board?
No, you guys might be right, but this is a sandwich spot,
Me and Patty C are locking it. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off with this beautiful music, but what are you doing? What were you gonna say?
Yeah, Bama, they beat Ole Miss and Kiffin last week, and they have Jimbo and A&M on deck next week. It's a sandwich spot. I guess I'm gonna take the points, but I'm no lock battle or anything.
Look, I like a good sandwich spot. I love sandwiches. You know what I mean? Let's go.
Yeah, they did beat Arizona, Mississippi State. They only lost on the road by 7 last week against a decent South Carolina team. 14 points. Alabama, 14.5. Alabama's won their last 2 games by 14. I do think they're baiting you with the hat.
Dude, Alabama's going to fuck them up.
Yeah.
Bama wins 28-14.
Hold on. I want to just go through this here for a second here. Let's go back to the LSU game, where I believe Mississippi State had a nice 107 yards passing. So LSU's defense against Florida State and against Arkansas, awful. They played at Mississippi State, and Will Rogers State Park threw for 107 yards.
Look,
they only ranked for 94. Let me just get this out here. They were 3 of 13 on third down, and they got their first down in the third quarter of the game. This offense sucks.
But look, last time we tried the blue blood parlay a couple weeks ago, what happened? Bama did not come remotely close to covering against USF. So this week we're already on Georgia. We're already on Michigan. You're going to add Alabama to that list also? You can try the blue blood special again? Not me.
Yes.
I'm out.
I will go with the blue blood plate special.
Yeah, Alabama rocks them.
All right.
I do think that offensive output against LSU is more of a reflection of Brian Kelly's inconsistency of preparing his team week in, week out for the rigors of SEC play. But I think Mississippi State isn't nearly as good as Alabama. So Alabama crushes.
Lay the points. Lock it up. Speaking of locks, the Washington Huskies are heading to the desert to take on the Arizona Wildcats in a series that dates back to the 1970s. And Washington does have a 14-game lead. But what if I told you between Arizona and Arizona State, when Washington goes to the desert, they're 2-10 in their last 12.
It's weird.
The desert. They lost last year.
The
rainforest
State. And the desert don't mix.
They lost at Arizona State when they had the interim head coach. They didn't even have Herm for this game. So when I see this line, and first off, Washington, what was the flaw in Washington last year? The pass defense. Well, week 1 they played Boise. They can't pass the ball. Week 2 they played Tulsa. They certainly can't pass the ball. Week 3 they played Michigan State. They can't pass the ball. Week 4 they played the California Golden Bears, not known for a prolific passing offense. Now they're going to play Jaden DeLora, Jacob Cowing, that other 5-star McMillan. Not happening. Arizona. Not only are they covering the 19.5 points, I think they're live. Sprinkle a little bit on the money line.
You know what this reeks of? You know what this reeks of is when Rich Rodriguez at Arizona played Oregon back in the day, and they're running the same system. Jed Fish has seen this shit, right? This spreading around shit. All the other teams like Cal that are playing tough, hard-nosed defense, and Washington's mesmerizing them with that passing attack. Arizona's not going to get fooled by that shit. They will cover 19.5.
Lock it?
Not lock it.
Ah, you fucking coward. What are you doing here? What are you doing
here?
I
agree with you guys. I mean, this was a 10-point game in Seattle last year, and it's kind of reminding me of USC Arizona State last week. but Arizona's a lot better than Arizona State. So I'm going to take the points, but I'm not going to lock it because I am, afraid of that Husky offense just putting up points.
It is fucking
Yes,
explosive.
Jamie Hove is right. Jaden DeLore, McMillan stack for the late DraftKings lineup all fucking day. All fucking
Arizona
day.
sees that shit in practice all
That's
the
what
time.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. They got to go there. This place going to be lit. All right. It ain't going to happen. Final game on the slate. The Nevada Wolfpack. Patty C's Nevada Wolfpack.
Do I have time to crack one more beer?
I mean, I gotta publish this afterwards.
I'm gonna drink
yes.
this. Okay.
Nevada. So you're getting a look at TCE behind the scenes. All right. Don't worry, we're gonna put this on a DVD.
He's like, I got 3 minutes after we finish.
What kind of beer are you working with anyway, there, Patty?
Manila Oro. I'm watching the calories. 90 calories per can.
But if you have 12 of them,
you still got a day's worth of calories. Details. I got a little pyramid I'm working on here, folks.
Nevada is heading to Fresno, California, or Fresno State. Can someone explain to me how Florida is ranked ahead of Fresno State, or how Florida is ranked behind Tennessee, or how Florida is ranked ahead of the Kansas Jayhawks? None of this makes sense. I hate the top 25. It's all
Never
a sham.
does.
Fresno's laying 24.5. Too many points. Give me Nevada plus the 24.5. It's an old rivalry back to the 1930s.
Patty C's Wolfpack is actually, playing better ball. Just a 7-point loss to Kansas. They were beating Texas State for nearly 3 quarters last week. I'm going to dangerous over there. That's some pretty sensitive electronic equipment, Patty C. Careful. I'm going to take the points too, actually. Fresno State wins, but give me Nevada the points.
So I'm saying, give me like a 30, 38, 17 final. Fresno gets it done. Nevada gets the cover. Patty, what are you doing here?
The number's what again? It doesn't matter. I'm taking Fresno.
24.5.
I'm taking Fresno.
Okay.
Nevada sucks. Although they've played a little better than I want to give them credit for. Maybe Nevada is coming along and you guys are just haters.
We just took them. You took Fresno.
All right. That's true. All right. I want Fresno. All
right, folks.
There's a lot of beers. Okay.
That's our show. All right. I hope you enjoyed it. All right. It's been fun. We'll be back tomorrow morning with the DFS show. Also at noon tomorrow, around 12:30 Pacific. We got the weekend bombs, me and CJ Sullivan. And then tomorrow night, we also have our FCS show. Me and the Gulf Coast Guru, aka Mike Rose. We're fucking rolling along. We just dropped a couple college basketball conference previews too. So get on over there and check that out. It's that time of year as well. Subscribe to the college football experience. Subscribe to the FCS college football experience. Subscribe to the college basketball experience. Subscribe to the college baseball experience with Noah Beanick and myself. We also have the Big 12 experience. It's the Big 12. All right. You got to check it out. You go look, I'm not on that show often, but Moneyline Mac does a hell of a good job with his pals, talking Big 12 everything. So check out that all separate podcast. Subscribe to each one of those. All of those are on the same hub though, on YouTube, youtube.com/the college experience. Subscribe there. This is the college football experience. Well, I fully expect all you 130 people watching this to give us a like on this fucking thing right now. And I also expect you, and maybe this is big expectations from old Dundee here, to hop on over to iTunes and give us a 5-star review, because damn it, we deserve it. All right. I just talked about fucking 85 games. All right, let's go.
And if you don't do it, I hope you burn in hell.
That is true. And look, yeah, if you do not get over there,
They deserve to die, and I hope they burn in hell.
All right.
We are not afraid of self-promotion. We're on this Deion Sanders vibe here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Come on. Prime
We're
time.
keeping receipts for those that don't give us 5-star reviews.
I'm still waiting on my fucking Deion sunglasses. That's my guy. And I'm keeping receipts just to make sure I don't overdraft. But folks, check us out. Give Patty C a follow on Twitter, Patty C831. I'm on Twitter at the Colby D. NC Nick's on Twitter at NC__NICK. We are the college football experience. The college football experience is on Twitter at TCE on SGPN. Give us a follow. Check out all the other episodes. We got just a shit ton of them. All right. And check out the Sports Gambling Podcast. They're going to do a show here in about 20 minutes. So stick around, check out them talking NFL. And until next time. All right. This is the college football experience. You better start thinking about yours. And we out of here.
Run and shoot. We can really run and shoot. And the whole team's looking and the whole world's looking with a cameras. Run and shoot. We can really run and shoot. And you know what you're getting, 'cause the books we read